So stupid. All right, that's enough.
Welcome to Theme and Variation.
We're a podcast about movies, and we talk about the themes that we like in them. So far, we've talked about our favorite movies so far, but hopefully we'll get into movies we like a little less later.
Just a little less.
Just a little. Here on Theme and Variation, we have two types of episode. We have our more frequent bread and butter series, which is the theme
where we talk about bread and butter, and then the other ones where we talk about movies.
That's a common phrase.
I know, it just really
What's your...
it just sends a weird shiver down my spine.
The words bread and butter.
Well, it's like also when you say it, it's very specific.
Just when I say it, okay.
Can you say it again?
It's our bread and butter series.
Oh, man. It's just, you gotta figure something else out. Anyways, it's the bread and butter series. So
it's
the bread and butter series.
We've said this too many times.
Yeah. Anyway, the theme series is where we talk about, themes.
Yeah.
In the movies we like.
Yeah.
And then variation episodes are a little more free form, and we get to talk about whatever we want, i.e., all three Kissing Booth movies.
Oh yeah, and,
at once.
At
It's going to be a 6-hour episode.
Well, we're doing a marathon this year when the third one comes out, and oh boy, is it going to be just.
I don't think
the bread and butter.
I think it's kind of sad. I haven't. That's probably the release I'm most excited for this year so far. It's Kissing Booth 3.
Even more than Dune.
Is that coming out?
I think
allegedly
it'll
be
be
coming out this year, but we don't know. We don't know if Gova's going to push that back anymore. So what movie are we doing today?
We're doing Batman Starts. We're doing The Dark Knight Begins.
Yeah, and how does it begin? It goes a little something like this.
No.
I'm just kidding.
Are you going to see how many times you can force that in?
No, I'm not going to force it. I do want to talk about the soundtrack at certain points, though.
I'm sure
it's
we
a
will.
great score.
There's a lot to talk about with the soundtrack.
Fantastic score.
What kind of...
by Christopher Nolan.
The Knoll Man.
The Knoll Man
Himself.
What year is this? 2005,
2005.
Right? Yeah, it was 2005.
This started the whole dark and gritty thing that's been going on for a while.
The dark and gritty thing?
Where it's like, what if we had superhero?
But in real life.
Get this. It's dark. It's a little bit gritty even.
Oh, yeah. I feel like M. Night Shyamalan did that first with Unbreakable.
No, because this movie inspired
That was not
them
a mainstream...
Oh, you're saying more mainstream with actual superheroes like in
James
the
Bond, because they based the reboot with Daniel Craig off of like the feel of this movie. They're like, what if James Bond was like Batman Begins?
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah. I like Scarecrow a lot better in James Bond movies.
What?
Well, what kind of themes stuck out to you guys?
Fear.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's definitely a big one.
That is the main one.
One of the most.
And I said it first.
You did say it first.
I would say.
The smartest.
I wouldn't say it's one of the main. I would say
it's one of the main. I think it is the main one. Fear is definitely the main theme.
What were you saying, Christian? With justice and
League.
Yeah.
Truth. The American way. No reaction.
No, you already said it too many times.
Oh, come on.
Anyway,
justice, vigilantism.
Is that as a theme? Vigilantism.
Vigilantism isn't a theme.
Versus each other.
What are you saying?
You pit one, true justice, against the other.
Vigilantes.
Which one's the proper way to deal with criminals?
That's a theme to you?
No.
Okay.
I also got anger.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Guilt.
Yeah, guilt.
My anger outweighs
choosing. I think going along with how would you say good people affecting?
Oh, you're gonna just straight up take mine before
I'm not taking it. I was giving you credit. I'm asking you about it.
You were cited.
Yeah, Christian took yours. You didn't get upset about that.
Christian didn't take mine.
Yeah, he said fear.
That's not
you
mine.
Fucking kidding me?
That's the main theme. That's the one everybody can.
The theme.
We're all so grabby about our themes, man.
We are. It's like we have a podcast named after them or something.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I think the one that stood out to me upon this rewatch is kind of the power that one good person can have to affect an entire system of like corrupt government. Or
are you talking about Batman?
Talking about Batman, Rachel, Gordon. Thomas
Joseph
Wayne.
Gordon-Levitt
No,
in another
that's
movie.
a different one. Yeah, but these people,
We're not there yet.
these people stand up for what's right, and they manage to affect positive change within their respective industries.
Yeah.
Despite
Lucius
Despite
Fox.
Despite
Lucius Fox
essentially-
as well.
Alfred,
essentially
maybe.
oh yeah, well, yeah.
Well,
He
maybe not.
Yeah,
affects-
Alfred.
definitely.
He affects the
Personally
corrupt
for-
business that is Bruce Wayne's psyche.
Well, I was going to get into that later too. I think we can even put that on an individual level, but we can get into that later.
All right.
So yeah, you're pitting that against like one good person against basically an entire city of corruption
Exactly.
or whatever, and how
Yeah.
that one person can change the city or
Exactly.
at least influence that change.
Oh, wait.
So-
Is also a theme. It's not who you are underneath, but what you do that defines you.
That's a line. I don't know about a
Well,
theme.
that's what I was saying. Was like, no. I was gonna say that's so. My idea, what stuck out to me, that was I think reoccurring, was the idea of choosing to do the right thing.
Yeah.
As one of those, because you can be a good
A gun.
person.
Yeah, my favorite things from
There were
Batman's
some.
like,
there
I am
there
not
were some.
a
There were
gun.
some Iron Giant jokes I wanted to make during, but I can't remember what they were.
I made
but they-
one when he throws the gun
was
to the
it?
river. I'm like, oh, it's like the car when it won't stop beating.
Okay. You already did it last time.
That's what I did. Well, no, the whole idea of you can be a good person on the inside, but you can choose to not do anything.
Yeah,
You're not
that's true,
really,
too.
You're not really going to.
You could be a good person, but if you don't
and
do
so
it-
doing the right thing is acting upon that goodness. Because,
That's a really good
because
point.
yeah, because you can have good values or whatever, but it doesn't mean anything if you're
If you
not
don't
going to
act
act
You're
upon
not
them.
Exactly.
buying hotels with it.
Exactly. Buying hotels is
Exactly. Christian, you got to the heart of what I was saying.
That's exactly what I,
I
was
think
trying
I
to
think
say.
that's
Hey, Michael.
That's
Michael.
a 10 out of 10 point made right there. That's a,
If you're gonna laugh, lean back.
no.
No.
Is it peaking?
Yeah, you're touching the tippy top of the.
Okay, I'll try it. I'll try.
Okay.
See, I'm getting better with not touching the
Yeah,
stand.
you can't be touching
Now it's a
One
matter of
habit
just
at a
not
time.
blasting my loud laugh into the mic.
that. Yeah, we'll get
Okay,
there.
I'll try. No, we will. We will.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I think we've laid out the themes pretty well so far. Do
Yep.
you guys want to get into the plot a little bit?
Let's get into the plot.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Get it.
Yeah.
I do want to say that the actor for Kid Bruce is like really British. Actually, a lot of this movie is really British. It was
Most-
filmed. It was
most
filmed
of
in
them
London.
are.
Most of the actors.
No,
are
I think
British.
most of them are actually. Yeah, like I can't.
Well, Christian
I
Bale's
guess
Welsh.
Katie Holmes isn't.
No, Katie Holmes isn't.
But did you just say Christian Bale is Welsh?
He is. that fact got drilled into my mind.
Yeah, I know.
By who?
Stop. No, stop. Okay.
My aggressively Welsh ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Christian Bale is Welsh.
And that's not
Anthony
even the tip
Hopkins
of
is
the
Welsh.
iceberg.
Tom
Man,
Jones
anyways.
Welsh.
Okay.
I could go on.
Gosh.
Oh wait.
Linus
Hold on,
Roach,
hold
who
on.
plays.
Hold on 1 second.
Oh, yeah, go
we
ahead.
forgot to introduce ourselves again.
Oh yes.
We can't keep doing that.
I'm Christopher Nolan.
No, you're
Special guest.
They got me. I have no British accent. I am British, but I don't have an accent.
It's called acting.
No. So I'm Michael,
I'm Cole.
I'm Christian.
and we
Bale.
are Deep Theme and Variation.
Never do that again. Oh my god.
I really thought that had a ring to it, man. You know.
It had something to it.
Maybe can I write us? I'll write us a thing.
You write us a jingle.
I'll
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah,
A jingle.
A little jingle.
Yes. I like that. I'm gonna use that now instead of people call them bops or whatever. Like
This is a jingle.
I know it's a thing. It's like they hate it, but I like jingle. That's really great. Man, you heard this jingle on the radio?
Okay.
It's really great.
Wow, we are
So-
wildly off track.
Oh my
I know.
god.
Theme plot.
The soundtrack to this movie, such a jingle.
Okay. So stupid.
Jingle Newton Howard
Yeah, it's
and
not even
Hans
a
That,
jingle.
that's what you were laughing at? That was the thing you were
No,
laughing
I was
at?
looking at what you said, and then I just went off on a jingle. All right. Plot.
You've made a monster.
Plot.
But it opens with Bruce as a kid, and he's chasing his childhood friend Rachel around
Rachel
Wayne
Dawes.
Manor. Rachel Dawes. They're
Right
looking
now, we're on Man Manor.
Yeah.
Recording live.
from Man Manor.
Man
Studio.
Manor.
But they're fighting over, I don't know, what is it? A stupid rock?
It's an arrowhead.
A little, yeah.
Oh,
little
I was
arrowhead.
like,
a genuine arrowhead.
I just wanted to call the arrowhead a stupid rock.
okay.
It's kind of a
You did it.
Yeah.
I never really.
I don't
understood the
know.
Fascination with arrowheads.
They're
They're
sharp.
Mm.
The pointy.
They're different. And most importantly, for Bruce, someone else has it. So
Yeah.
he's chasing her
You
through
know,
the
he's the
garden.
son of a billionaire. He gets to take whatever the fuck he wants.
And he does. He's like finders keepers.
Yeah, and
you
then he
dumb
does take
bitch.
it.
And
This
then
is
he
the-
takes.
He doesn't even have to put a check in her pocket or anything.
This
He's
is
like,
the first
"Look,
sign.
That shouldn't be a problem.
was about to say,
I'm buying this arrowhead.
this is the first sign of a long, terrible habit of buying things that really can't or shouldn't be bought.
Buying things that aren't for sale.
Like that arrowhead when you were a kid. Okay.
This is gonna take us 3 hours. to
Yeah,
get that.
probably.
So he falls
So,
down the hole.
The bat hole.
The bat hole.
The bat bit hole.
What? Down the bat hole.
hole.
You fucking suck. All right.
He falls down the hole.
There's hella bats in there.
Lots of bats. That freaks the hellcat out of him.
Yeah.
Freaks him out real bad. He
Pretty
doesn't-
freaked out.
Turns
And
out
who comes to the rescue?
Daddy.
Daddy
Daddy-o.
Wayne.
Daddy Wayne.
Yeah.
Daddy
So
Wayne.
wait, hold on. So
None other than Jeremiah Sand comes to the rescue.
Oh.
No one's gonna get that.
they will once we do an episode on
Mandy.
which will be fantastic, man.
Fantastic.
So yeah, so he so
I didn't
so
mean to say man.
so we get to that. Hold on. So we get to that childhood scene where he's being freaked out by the bats, and then
Yeah.
all
Daddy
of a sudden
Wayne.
cuts to the
Cuts to,
future.
prison.
He wakes up in a prison.
Yeah, it was a dream.
It was a
Night.
flashback.
It was a
Or a
flashback.
dream.
I was
Yeah,
quoting the
it's-
fucking
Memory.
movie.
Yeah, we're never gonna let you do that. You're gonna interrupt halfway through at all times.
I just want you two to know I am trying very hard not to make any Batman versus Superman references.
You know, it's
I-
just
You
gonna get
can
dogged
if you
on.
want. We're
I'll jump on that.
Well,
This is a
they'll jump on me probably.
Later.
this is a BVS free podcast.
I'd like all of them to be that way.
I think it's the funniest thing you ever said. BVS free.
This
It
is
should it should be. There's really nothing we can get out of that.
We'll
movie,
do
honestly.
we'll do an episode on it just for 2 hours of
it'll be
then-
funny.
Oh no, we could do. We should do a Zack Snyder variation episode. Just
on all of his
trashing Zack
movies.
Snyder
Well-
movies.
Yeah, we'll get there when we get there.
We will get there when we get.
So the Snyder cut was like.
No, stop.
I wish this movie
So-
wasn't 4-3.
Turns out, big Brucey boy, he's in prison, right?
Yep.
In the clink.
The Steel Hotel.
This one he cannot buy.
Look, I'm buying this Steel
and
Hotel.
the trouble I have, I mean, particularly in this scene, which I think we turned the subtitles on immediately.
Oh, it's
pretty much,
incomprehensible.
because
Christopher Nolan's sound design.
Okay, just
notoriously
real quick
clear.
off track because I'm curious. Does he do this intentionally?
Yes, he does.
Yes,
he
okay.
literally
on
does.
purpose.
yeah.
That's what I thought because it just doesn't seem like you just do that on accident.
Accidentally
again.
every time.
So why does he
the
do
au-
it? Does he just want us
He
to
said
focus on
it's
certain
because
lines?
no, he
or-
said it's because like when in real life you don't hear people so clearly when they're talking.
Okay,
And
I
then
mean,
everyone
okay,
went, but Christopher Nolan, I'm watching a fucking movie. I need to.
Christopher Nolan. I don't need
I
to
mean,
follow a plot in my
I-
everyday life.
I can get behind that if it just the issue is there's main characters who say things that you just miss and you
Yeah, but
do
in
end
real
up feeling
life,
lost.
like, do you hear everything the main character says?
If I don't hear what someone says, I ask them, "Can you say that again?"
Yeah,
and then
I
if I don't hear
can't
them
do
again,
that
I
with
say,
Batman.
"I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Can you say that one more time?" So
Christopher
it's
Nolan.
uncomfortable, but I
need to hear how dreams work.
yeah,
Oh,
he'll tell
guys,
you.
we're not doing Inception.
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah.
Not everything.
Not
Not
yet.
yet.
Okay.
We're not doing that. Okay. Plot.
So he's in the
Plot
clink.
and variation.
So he's in the clink, eh?
Yeah.
And then
How many
say
times have we
that.
said that already? He's
So
in
many.
He's in prison. We know he's in prison.
Okay.
so Bruce Wayne, he's a little locked up right now.
In prison.
I'm just trying to get some sort of dialogue, but again, it's just, even with the subtitles on, I just can't remember
Oh,
what he
I
was.
could
'cause
I
he had
could probably
Razz Al
quote
Ghoul.
I could quote a bit of this. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Well, at first he gets in the fight with 7 guys. I counted 6.
Did you really?
It's the it's the I'm
Did you
quoting
really?
the fucking.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm just messing
All right,
with you.
okay. I'm gonna make a conscious choice not to have any outbursts of anger the rest of the show.
I'll remind you of that on the next outburst of
I
anger.
was gonna say something really mean.
What?
What?
I'm gonna save it maybe.
No, say it.
Oh
no,
my
no, I
gosh.
might save it
For what?
for if Christian gets really grumpy.
Okay.
So anyway,
Michael, I'm going to need to have you get your hands off that glass.
so anyway,
I can't help.
yes, Bruce Wayne, he's in jail. right
Okay.
now.
All right. Enough. This joke is over now. It's dead.
So yeah, he fights the guys, gets thrown in a cell that actually looked nicer than his initial one.
Well, that's how you rank up in the prison society. You just got to fight a bunch of dudes.
They're like, that was fucking sick, and they
Have a
drag him
better
to this
cell.
bigger cell.
It's all for the entertainment of the officers and the policemen.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and then,
who's already
car
there?
cells.
Ducard.
Ducard. Yeah.
He's already there.
Yeah, he's like.
Do you think they brought him there to him?
I don't know.
Why is he there?
Imagine,
He's a very powerful
I don't
guy.
know, this is where I guess my theory is that he I mean the League of Shadows. Remember, he mentions later in the movie like he was able to infiltrate every level of
your
Gotham's infrastructure. I feel like they do that. With
every infrastructure,
certain societies and stuff like that. So yeah, he's probably got
cool
the
with
in
the
there,
boys.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He's
You
wearing-
you can cause the fall of Rome and cause the Black Plague, but you can't
We burn London to the ground. Yeah, no.
manipulate a prison system. Yeah, but what does he tell him?
So he's pretty much be like, "Are you fucking dumb? Like, I see what you're trying to do, but you're bad at it. I
You're
see what
bad
you're trying to
man
do,
at it."
though, and I like the idea."
He's also like, hey, you're Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
So you're Bruce Wayne. You're the Prince of Gotham, is what he says.
Okay, he doesn't say that.
And so he's like, "Hey, I like the idea of what you're trying to do. Come with me. I'll show you how to actually do it.
Join
for
my
real.
path of the hatred
Join
of
my
evil.
join my
something like
sick
that.
club.
Yeah, and then he tells him pretty much,
You're gonna
you got to
release
become
tomorrow.
more than just a vigilante.
What?
You got to become a
Batman.
a legend.
A legend.
A legend, Mr. Wayne.
Yeah. If you
Tells him to
devote yourself,
get a
to
little
idea.
blue flower
Yeah,
and
and
bring
climb
it
up
up
the mountain.
to a mountain.
Did you? What was your name for the flower that you have to
Little-
carry to the top of the mountain?
Did I have a name for
Oh,
it?
you called it a Zeroni flower.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
You must carry Madame
must carry
Zeroni
the
up the
Zeroni
mountain.
flower up the mountain. Otherwise, you and your okay.
Okay.
That'd be a fun episode.
Yeah.
Holes.
Yeah, let's do it right now.
A little sub episode inside the episode.
And
Can we
then
do that in the Inception
It's like
episode?
I was about to say
Okay,
Inception.
guys,
I was literally thinking the
guys.
same thing.
Bruce knocks on
All
the
right,
door.
yeah, so Bruce Wayne,
Yeah,
he's in jail.
No, he's not. We're past that. He knocks on the door very weakly. He's just climbed a whole
He's
mountain.
climbed it, yeah. And who answers?
I think it's just-
Henchman.
Yeah, the ninjas.
But
They do call them ninjas.
yeah, they're ninjas, man.
yeah. But Ducard is there.
Yeah.
And so is Razz Al Ghoul.
Played by Ken
Ken
Watanabe.
When he
It is
walks
a
in-
performance.
Walks in, they're all like, "What are you all about?" He
Insane
tells them, "I want to
performance.
fight justice, stand up for blah blah blah." And then basically, Ducard comes.
He wants to
up
turn
and,
fear on those who prey on the fearful.
Yes, fear. We get.
Yes, our first kind of reference.
Here we go.
That was so dumb.
I feel like that's a Scarecrow line. Or it could be.
That one was cut.
And fear we go.
That would be good.
So basically, he comes in here, and they're like, "Sick, you made it to the top of the mountain. Now you gotta
Ready
fight
to fight?
me."
Yeah. I can barely stand. Wait, death does not wait for you. Gives him a good old pounding.
You could word that better, please.
I mean, he
Word
gives
that
him,
better.
Okay. He thrashes him around with his foot.
If
I'll
every
take that.
limb,
I
every
could-
extremity
yeah.
gets slammed into the skull of Bruce Wayne.
He slams him good. So what? And then he starts to fight back, but he knocks him out pretty good initially, right? And then that's where he's like, well, "You're afraid of something, but
not
it's
of
not
me."
me. What are you afraid of, Mr.
Bats.
Wayne?" And then it's
Flashback
Well, yeah,
again.
then we get the flashback,
Flashback,
right? And that's where
flashback.
we get Daddy-O,
Daddy
Linus
Wayne.
Roach, who plays
Jeremiah Sands.
in another movie.
Daddy Wayne.
He plays Thomas Wayne in this movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he's like, "Hey, those bats are actually scared of you." And he's like, "What?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Here's the necklace your mom's gonna die in."
While he doesn't say that exactly, we kind of
That's
get
the gist of it.
Yeah, yes.
Anyone who's ever read a Batman comic is like, "I got these pearls."
So I
for
was
your
going to
mom."
ask
It's
that
just
actually,
like
because you guys have read a lot of the comics,
Yes.
right? So that's kind of a
it's a
It's
whole
the-
staple of
It's
the
like,
Batman.
she
that-
can't
that
die if
parents-
she's not wearing pearls.
It's so much of a
whole
staple
fucking
that
thing.
it needs to stop.
Yeah, they could probably do something different. Maybe like
Not even
Just
something
not
different.
do
We
it. It
just
doesn't.
need-
Why does
We
it
know.
need
We
that?
all know.
oh, you just mean the death thing in
No,
general?
the
Oh, yeah, for sure.
pearls.
No.
You
don't need to see
No,
it
we've,
every
I think
time.
we've seen it.
It's kind of
every-
like
literally every single
Spider-Man
Batman
being
movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
in high school. It's like, just do it later. Do something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see Old Man Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Well, we kind of got that.
Okay,
in
okay,
Spider-Man.
That is
Okay.
Anyways, we're going on a tangent.
Oh my
now.
gosh.
Get back to the plot.
Yeah.
Initiate.
This is another moment where I think the fear thing kind of comes up, where
Yeah.
he tells him the bats are more afraid of you.
He's like, "All animals are afraid of you, Bruce," or something like that.
Even the scary ones.
It's-
We are
Especially
the
the
top
scary
dogs on
one.
this earth. Everything is afraid of us, and You're gonna learn that the good way, the rich way, because we're rich.
That's what he says.
It's not.
You
Okay.
also find out they're billionaires, although I guess that was
You
always,
didn't
that's
need to
also,
find
that's
that out.
also a staple with Batman. I want to see a poor Batman.
There's
It was a big twist.
a
I wanna
comic
see
of it, and it's
a not rich Batman.
There is a thing of it where him and Alfred like live in a mechanic shop.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
That's
called
okay.
it's called Year Zero. It's where he's like,
Interesting.
what if he was poor and still wanted to be
Okay,
Batman?
I'm glad they visited that idea.
So it is a thing. Anyway,
Yeah. Then we get to Bat Play.
Bat Play.
Bat Play.
The opera music, it's intense.
What are the odds?
What?
What are the odds?
What are
What
the
do you mean,
odds?
what are the
What?
odds?
Oh,
That his
he falls
parents
down a scary bat pit. They take him to a bat play.
Oh, I don't think
Where
they're
there's-
supposed to be bats. I think he's just seeing it like that.
They
No,
look
no,
like
that's in the
bats.
opera. I mean,
Are
that
there
was-
bats in the opera?
Yeah, that was they were.
I thought they were like devils. 'Cause
Well,
we all know that
there were
devils
those.
come
There
from
were
the
those,
sky.
but he didn't initially get scared by anything there. But once he saw the bats doing the spinny thing,
Then
on
he's
the
like,
stage,
oh, he's just
those
some fucking
acrobatic bats.
Acrobatics.
Yikes, man! Right.
Okay.
I can't get a word out with someone making a bat joke. Oh,
Bruce asks his parents if he can leave.
Can we
yeah,
go?
he's freaking
Can we go?
out.
Yeah.
He's having a panic attack. Sorry.
That was an
Why did you
odd.
laugh at
Well,
that?
just because
There's not even a joke. You just laughed as
I
you're saying
made
he's
the
having a
joke.
panic
Well, and I
attack.
made the joke before all this about how panic attacks was a huge theme of this movie.
Kinda.
Because the word is panic. That's what I was thinking of.
And the
I'm sorry.
theme is
I'm sorry.
panic.
I'm sorry.
You're
I'm sorry.
using the word theme a little liberally here.
I know. I'm sorry.
Let's
So
continue.
they exit the bat play into the sketchiest alley.
Yeah, they literally go out the bat. Like,
Imaginable.
the bat, like,
I don't know why.
Yeah, they go out the bat.
They just wanted to get some
And-
fresh air. They wanted to get some fresh air in literally the trash gutter aisle of
crime alley.
disgustingness. Yeah. So they go out. Then a guy
And then they see
approaches
Joe
them.
Joseph Chill.
Joseph.
Joseph Chillard comes out.
He's really not that chill.
no, he's pretty not chill. He's not really chill at all.
Jewelry fast.
It looked like he was having a panic attack.
What? Saying
Anyway.
somebody's having a panic attack is not a joke.
Hey, it is to me.
Okay.
Not that I don't take panic attacks seriously. I do. I have them quite frequently. I just want to say that. So, just bleep this out. Fucking bleep this out.
You don't get bleeped. You get to live with your consequences.
Damn it. Oh, well.
Anyway,
This is what consequences.
Batman's
What, I
parents
get more
get
panic attacks now?
shot. They die.
They die.
Before Daddy Wayne dies, he goes to Bruce and says,
It's okay.
don't be afraid.
Yeah.
Another fear.
Fucking dies.
Yeah, no, yeah.
And Bruce is probably pretty afraid because he watched his parents get
Probably pretty
shot.
No, actually, once his
Moited.
dad was like, Bruce, don't be afraid, he's like, oh, yeah.
Okay, cool.
So I have a
Thanks.
question real quick. So
Yeah.
Joseph Chill, is that the guy's name?
Joseph Chill,
So
yeah.
is that like
Joe Chill.
is that the regular name in the comics? Or
Yeah.
is that
Yes,
just-
he's-
okay.
he's like-
I was like,
he's like
what if
the
it's
guy.
possible that was their take on Mr. Freeze or something like that?
Joe Chill is secretly
He
Mr.
shot
Freeze.
Bruce. I don't know, just because Nolan has that way, the whole way of wanting to make things dark. Whatever you're saying, Christian. Anyways,
Okay.
Dark and
Well,
gritty.
and then we get
dark and gritty. That was what I was looking for.
we get back when it's a training scene with Bruce and Ducard.
This is where he's like, what does he say about being a ninja when he's like on all the
Oh
pulls? He's
my
like,
gosh.
he's like, to be a ninja, you must have perfect balance.
That line is so
Well, he's
good.
on a bunch of pulls.
Because
and
I
people
didn't
are
really,
just, oh my
get
gosh.
that. Was it just the way he said it that made you guys
It's just
crack
the
up?
fact that they refer to themselves as ninjas.
You know what's even
That's
crazier?
So funny.
This is
I mean, I
kinda-
guess they are like assassin
ninjas.
They're ninjas.
So
They literally
why
just
wouldn't
they
they
call it
refer to themselves as
ninjutsu.
ninjas?
Hearing it out loud is really funny.
But
True.
I guess
Also,
I don't
he
know
did say
why.
it pretty funny. He's
I guess
ninja.
this I guess this was kind of like a moment for me to remember how huge he is in this
Oh, yeah,
right
Bale
after
got
doing
ripped.
The Machinist. This was the next movie.
Yeah, it was.
He-
Yeah, that's a terribly unhealthy body.
It's probably the
transformation. Like, it is
craziest
insane.
transformation I can think
So
of.
How,
Rob
how heavy was
McElhenney.
he? Was like what 110, 120?
He
in
was
Machinist?
like
Something like
120,
that.
and then he was 210 in the.
Yeah.
Good. That's 100 pounds.
Yeah.
in a really short amount of time too.
Yeah, that's insane.
So
Christian Bale.
props to Bale.
No, seriously, he does that.
He's
all
a
the time,
beefcake
apparently,
in this
though.
one.
Yeah. Well, when he played Cheney, he gained a bunch of weight too.
I
Yeah.
remember that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he had other roles.
And then he
Well, no,
lost
yeah,
a
and
bunch of
and
weight
then,
for Ford
versus
versus Ferrari.
yeah.
Exactly.
So
Lost a bunch of weight for the fighter.
it's
yeah,
just it's
no.
all water weight.
That man's organs are wrecked.
Yeah, probably, man.
Moral of the story.
It's for the art, man.
Yeah.
It's for the art.
It's for the bat, man.
Okay.
Anyway.
But now we're in the anime section of the movie.
Anime section.
Oh, I didn't like it when you guys said that last night.
Oh, it is an anime section.
you-
I can't. Well,
Your elaborate-
was not your fault.
It was
your father's.
While they're fighting with
Nani?
swords.
Yeah.
Gets him real upset.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So,
You haven't beaten me.
But that's kind of important.
You've sacrificed
are we,
your
are we
footing
there yet?
for
Where
us.
he's like,
Kill
Yeah,
me.
we're at that training
Okay,
montage.
so he tells him it's your father's fault. Why? Because he tells him he
He
didn't,
didn't have the will to act.
And that's
Not
the
will
whole
to act.
thing. too.
Training
Oh,
is nothing.
Yeah, and
will
this goes into the
is
theme
everything.
of, like, I guess they say this later, if it's not who you are underneath, but what you do that defines you.
Yeah, that.
And this is kind of a reinforcement of that.
So
you
your
can be
dad
a good
didn't
person.
do shit.
Well,
Bruce, he built a train.
Ducard is wrong
I
here.
know.
Is the
That's
point.
I was gonna.
But I
mention
think
that,
it
yeah.
reinforces that theme nonetheless.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe it's interesting because we see a character who thinks he's doing the right thing in Ducard,
Yeah.
Yeah,
but then we
well, that
find
was
out later
kinda-
it's really not the right.
That's
thing,
kind of where it
so-
plays, and like a little bit later on in this segment
Yeah.
of the film about just like his kind of sense of justice is. I think he says that
Extreme.
justice is balance,
Justice
and to him,
is Batman.
No, vengeance is Batman.
Okay.
So I'm sorry. He interrupted.
That
and I
was
added
that
to it.
was
We-
that was
we-
just
we
that was
could-
just another one of those jokes that
oh
just
man, we
takes the
derailed
soul
your
out of
train
me.
right there.
And that joke brought back my enthusiasm somehow.
Okay.
Cole's like drained it away, and that one brought it back.
Okay. Okay. Keep going.
I don't even know what I was saying.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Well, anyway,
That
we
was-
keep going.
I'm gonna go grab that water off the counter.
So we get to the point where he knocks the ice. You know, you didn't learn to mind your surroundings.
You haven't
Oh, that's
beaten
awesome,
me.
yeah.
You've
Yeah.
sacrificed sure footing for a
Exactly.
killing
That's
stroke.
that's the line.
Nani, and then you're like,
Gets him in that cold water, and then
Because
he's all
again,
like,
it's an anime.
warm your chest. Your arms
Well,
will take
this
care
is something
of
I
I
wanna
am
switch to.
I
going
really don't
to.
think it's
no,
true,
it's
but-
not true.
Oh, I was about to say, I really don't think that's true.
Your blood actually goes to your core, so it's pretty much It's literally the opposite. Where he's like, your arms will take care of themselves. Your
what I thought.
body
It's
will
like your-
take care of
I
itself.
feel like your arms are gonna get frostbite sooner
But,
than your
this
chest.
is a thing that
fire
I
is
should
so
say
small.
now.
I want to just talk about how small that fire is.
twigs. It's
I'm
twigs.
glad you mentioned that. It is a really small fire.
He's dying of hypothermia.
He's
It's just this
training
little
fire.
He's
Yes.
just training him to deal with it.
It's like fuck.
The way
But,
of the ninja.
a thing that I will say is I'm probably gonna know too many exact quotes from this because I've watched this movie so many times.
That's right. The first take we did Iron Giant. That was me. So
Yeah.
we each get to have that movie.
All right, cool.
So you're good.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So this is where
I think
Razz Al Ghoul starts to open up about his past too.
Yeah. Well, he
I had a
talks about
wife
his
once.
motivations a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like how the league kind of found him, or he found the league, I guess.
I think the league found him.
Yeah. But he wants to seek vengeance upon criminals, not necessarily
Mentions-
just justice. Although
mention-
this is his version of what he thinks justice
He thinks
is.
that justice is combating injustice.
Yeah, and snuffing it out completely.
Yeah.
No mercy is the thing.
Which
Strike
that's
hard.
pretty much
strike fast.
that's pretty much
No
the
mercy.
the whole
Strike first,
belief
strike
system of
hard.
the League of Shadows.
No mercy.
We could do as much as I love Cobra Kai, Christian. Quiet. Okay. Anyways, sorry. I had to do it that. It had to be. It's
It didn't have
for
to
Cobra
be.
Kai. So that's kind of the whole fundamental belief of the League of
Yeah,
Shadows.
snuff out injustice wherever it is.
I mean, like extreme.
yeah,
Just destroy
kill it,
you know.
kill it, in any form it takes.
Right. Raz mentions a wife that was murdered or something
great
like that.
love.
That was what kind of made that click in his mind.
We're back. No.
Okay. We did have to cut because Michael was making a scene.
Speaking of
Always
scenes,
my fault.
It literally is.
It was
Speaking
not.
of-
He was the one.
Speaking of
verbal.
scenes,
Okay,
here's
okay.
what happens in this scene.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's talking to Bruce, and he's kind of explaining his like whole philosophy about stuff, and talking about his wife and how she got killed.
Yeah.
And so he said kind of the cure to his guilt and his rage was revenge.
Mhm.
And this is where
Right.
Bruce is like, well, I can't have my revenge. And he's
Oh,
like,
and then it goes-
why?
Yeah,
And then
that's
it's
why it goes
cut
back
to
that,
when he's
flashback.
coming back from Princeton for the trial.
Yeah.
And this is where we learn that him and Rachel were really into condensed milk.
Ah, you beat me to it. I had a whole thing set up for this.
Whoa, damn it! What are you gonna say?
Nothing much more than
No.
they had to hide the condensed milk on the top shelf.
Yeah, what was funny is in this watch we were all like, "What the fuck?"
Honestly, I didn't really notice.
Dude, you
that
could
was
have
just-
keep that condensed milk away from us when we were kids.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Like they couldn't use cookies or like
Something
normal-
normal. I
yeah,
guess he
what-
was like a weird rich kid in the
this is like-
80s. Yeah.
Condensed milk is like billionaire dessert.
Weird.
Anyway, so he's back for the trial, but he's really back
Joseph
to kill
Chill.
Joseph Chill
He's a changed man.
in a bad way. Wait, you're talking about Joe Chill?
Joe Chill.
I mean, he's
He's a rat. He's a
he's
filthy
a
rat.
I'm saying
now.
what
He's
I'm
a
saying.
snitch.
I was gonna refer to what. Yeah, he's like, not a day goes by.
His
that
voice
I don't-"
changes
Yeah.
so much from
Another-
okay. Even when I was a kid, I was like, this is the same guy where he's like, where he's in the alley, he's like, fast, give me your wallet. And here's like, yeah, when
a changed
the
man.
recession hit, it hit all of us hard, but
He's a changed man, Christian.
but
He
that
went-
don't excuse
He
what I
went
did.
through prison puberty. Okay.
That's the
Don't
term.
say
right
that, Michael.
I think that's the
That's
first time
awful.
anyone's ever said that.
Yeah, I'll trademark that.
Okay.
All right. So he's at the hearing.
Yeah.
Rachel didn't want him to go though, right?
No,
She's trying to
nobody
get
wants
some-
him to go.
yeah,
Alfred
'cause-
doesn't want him to
They're
go.
like, why don't do this? He's like, I have to.
Right.
I got it.
Got a gun in his briefcase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a gun up his
I
sleeve.
wonder what he's gonna do with it.
So the trial happens, whatever, and then Joe Chill is coming out of the courtroom, and he's like, "All right, I'm getting ready to kill this guy."
I've got
And
my
then-
gun up my sleeve.
Yeah, I got a gun up my sleeve, and
Got
then
a
this
little
other
slip up his
lady's
sleeve.
like, "Hey, Chill, Falcone says hi," and shoots him. Anyway.
Blasts him.
Right.
And Rachel's like, "Come on, let's go." He's like, "No, I want
I
to
gotta
watch
watch.
this."
Oh, that's important to mention too. I think like
Gotta put that one in the old memory
Rachel
vault.
really she's more invested in this case too because she works for the DA.
She's the
Yeah.
assistant
That's like
DA.
this is like her case too, right?
No.
She's just heavily involved in
Wasn't
like all the cases
She's-
because
yeah.
she's like works for the DA.
Or
It's not
yeah,
like
okay.
I don't think it's specifically her case.
But this is like a big case because they're gonna get.
Well, it
Yeah,
murdered
well, because-
Thomas Wayne. Yeah.
Well, no, the full Falcone thing.
And,
that's
yeah, the
why
whole-
they're
Well, yeah,
letting
and
him
he's
go.
snitching
Why
on.
he's
So that's why
coming
she,
out.
That's why
that's
they're
why
letting
she's
him go.
more invested in
That's
this
why
because
Bruce is upset too. I think.
well, because he's getting leniency for, and he doesn't think he should get any.
He
Exactly.
questions if this is justice.
Is this system
Is this
really justice?
is this
System's
justice?
broken.
Man, yeah. broken. Okay.
But anyway, yeah, that's basically the next scene is where they're talking. Where he's like, "I don't trust in your system, Rachel.
Yeah, I'm above your system.
I have bangs. You think I give a fuck
Okay.
about your system?"
Okay. Yeah, but she drives him down.
To the Narrows, no,
Yeah.
or it's just like
No,
under a bridge.
It's just the
It's an Italian restaurant.
The like
Actually, I don't know if
the,
we
like,
know if it's
under-
Italian
the,
or
like,
not. I just kind of assume
we don't
it
see
is.
what people are eating. I don't
No,
think
we don't. I feel like
it's
they're
like a
just all
bar. I thought
drinking.
it was a bar.
Yeah, it's
It's
like
something.
a restaurant bar, like where all the high up criminals and
In here, you're gonna
bad
see
cops hang out.
Yeah.
You're gonna see a congressman, a couple of off-duty cops,
Well, here.
and a judge.
This is important. First, though, Bruce tells her that he was going to shoot
Oh
Joe
yeah,
Chill.
he's like, "I'm not one of your good
Yeah.
people."
Oh yeah, and she
I
gives
think
him
this
a
scene.
slap.
Yeah,
She
this
gives him
scene
2
is
slaps.
this scene is super important,
Oh,
though.
that's right. It is too.
Do you remember what she tells him exactly?
Your father would be ashamed of you.
Yes,
I remember
exactly.
that.
Yeah.
I mean, she wants him to go in and actually see Falcone. She's just trying to prove a point, I guess.
No, she doesn't want him to go. Of course
Well,
not.
she's no. I mean, she's trying to prove a point.
She's
about
like,
it.
'cause
"Yeah,
he-
if you
he's-
want to."
He's just right out in the open.
I think what
you
makes
know?
her snap is he's like, maybe I should send a thank you card or something to Falcone.
yeah.
Yeah. He's like, "All this time I wanted to kill him, and now I never can."
Oh,
She's
and then
like,
he shows the
"You
gun.
wanted to
She's-
what?"
Yeah. But I think this is really formative for Bruce's
Oh,
development
for sure.
too.
Yeah.
Is he has to realize maybe revenge isn't necessarily the right way to go.
No, I think
this
he
would be a much
realizes
different
kind of.
Bruce Wayne if he had gotten to even go through it.
I mean, he'd
go
get
through with
prison.
it. Well,
And then
maybe,
we get
So-
prison Batman.
So
let me rephrase.
Bruce Wayne
We get prison.
Hold on.
Man.
is in jail.
Stop. I think this would, even if he didn't get to kill him, but Rachel didn't have that conversation with him, I think this would be a
It's
very
kind of the
different Bruce
pivotal
Wayne.
moment.
No,
yeah.
no, this is an important thing. Yeah, Rachel has a lot of influence.
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
how
That's why I
Walker
really
Jack's-
like her character in this one,
Her
especially.
along with like
Her in the Dark
obviously-
Knight is pretty weak.
Yeah,
it's like-
well,
Okay,
I mean,
okay.
anyways,
We'll
get to that. No. It's like
Katie Holmes is the real
impressions
Rachel
that
Dawes.
are left on Bruce are particularly from his father, Alfred, and also Rachel.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
His father, Alfred.
But yeah, I'll get into more of this later. But I think we would see a very different Bruce Wayne if this scene didn't happen.
I agree.
So he goes in to talk to Falcone.
Right after
Yeah.
he throws the gun
In the river.
He throws it in the river, and then Falcone's like, "What? No gun?
I'm
insulted."
Played by Tom Wilkinson.
Yes.
What
that's
else he is?
correct.
I like it. He's I was thinking. Oh no, you're not thinking. It was. I'm Bill Wilkinson.
Okay. Wow.
That was the most
That
left.
was the forced. That was the most forced reference.
I was just because I don't know what.
Who knew there'd be a Conjuring 2 reference?
It was like a
Batman
revealing
Begins.
to myself of what I was thinking of.
And then you just-
I wanted everyone else to see what I was
this.
thinking of.
Oh
too.
my gosh. This episode, this is a mess.
So anyway,
Just like Gotham City.
Yeah. Gotham City.
Fitting, right?
Yeah, it's a very
All right.
fitting metaphor.
Okay, so he's in.
We're
with
doing this on purpose. It's
Falcone.
thematic.
Bruce is like all
It's a
like,
metaphor.
what? He's all like, I'm not afraid of you. Falcone's just like
Another
blah,
fear
blah,
thing.
blah.
yeah. Well, this is the whole thing with fear is like, I don't know. There's a few because he talks about his like anger too. He's like,
Yeah.
"Don't come down here with your anger, trying to prove something to
You're
yourself."
Bruce. You're
Bruce Wayne. You're the Prince of Gotham.
You gotta go 1,000 miles.
And
to
Bruce
see
is
someone
like,
who doesn't
"Huh?
know your name."
Okay.
1,000 miles, huh?" And then he's traveling.
Wait.
That was the clunkiest way to get
Oh my
through
gosh.
this.
Oh,
What do you wanna
I
say?
still have one more thing to say about
what
this
do you
scene.
want-
though.
what do you want to say?
I think this is where it starts to get reinforced too that just all the bad people in the higher up systems of power. Because Falcone shows
yeah.
him all around. There's a judge right there.
Judge
You
Fader,
see-
Yeah.
the cops,
Off-duty
and,
cop.
the,
You
see a congressman?
councilman,
Yeah.
A congressman,
and
a councilman, a congressman.
and he was telling him like, I could shoot you right here, and
I
I
wouldn't have
get
a
off
second's
scot-free,
hesitation.
'cause
That's
it's-
power.
Yeah,
That's power you can't buy. That's the power of fear.
Then he gets
Yeah.
his goons over there, beats
Ooh.
Bruce up. They
And
kick
the
him out.
worst punch sound effects
Oh,
in modern.
you literally can hear the pool balls.
We're on
going
the same.
clunk.
We're on the same wavelength, Christian. So
I mean that it is really just bizarre. The sound
it's
effects.
jarring.
For
I,
like
I,
a
I think it
superhero
literally is just two pool balls.
None
that
of
they
the
went
other punches. No other punch in the movie sounds like that.
It's just
Why
so-
is it just that one?
No, it's seriously,
When
it's
Bruce
so
Wayne gets
loud.
punched in the face by that goon,
It's weird. The
it's
sound
just-
editing's weird too because you hear him go like, oh, but it's like you hear the like the again. It just
it could have been a stock sound effect. I don't know.
Seriously,
It's
I
really
think
bad.
they got two pool balls. It just went boink.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
It's
I think-
really
I think
bad.
that's what
It's
it
really
is.
bad.
It's really bad.
Anyway,
so
so,
he
yeah.
goes out, and I think that's kind of the pivot moment for him.
Yeah,
Is when he's like, "All right,
I gotta get out
I
of
got
here.
it." Yeah,
Gets on a boat.
Gotta go
gives
find myself.
gives the coat to the homeless man.
Yeah. This comes back later.
Yes. Anyway, so he's cut back to talking to Razz Al Ghoul about kind of this journey into
Ducard.
Oh fuck! Oh fuck! Oh no!
We're gonna have to bleep that. Although I feel like everyone's seen this movie, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Dang, that was a slip up. Anyway,
okay.
he's talking to Ducard
Yeah.
about kind of his path through kind of trying to understand the criminal underworld.
Here's the thing I think is important about this too, is this gives him like more sympathy and maybe perspective about the petty criminal.
About their people.
Something that
Yes.
Ducard doesn't have.
He does
Yeah.
mention that.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, he
because
says,
the
like,
first time he steals, it was to
so that
survive,
he
so he
wouldn't
doesn't starve
starve.
to death.
And there's that scene where he's like giving
Giving
some
the
of the
apple to
food
the
he
kid.
It
had stolen
changed
actually
many
to
of
another
his
kid, yeah.
conceptions about the simplicity of right and
Yep.
wrong.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I don't think Ducard has that. I think that's another thing that kind of differentiates them a little bit.
For sure, is he's very, very just like crime, kill, and it's just like there's not a gray area for him
Mhm.
at all. And so he's going through more ninja training. He reaches the final test of just like, now we're gonna give you a bad trip, and if you can fight me with a sword while you're having a bad trip,
Just a mild one.
You're
Just
officially
like a little microdose.
a
pretty
ninja.
much.
You'll be fine in like 10 minutes though.
Yeah, you know that. You know
He's back to normal.
He's like, you know that blue
Yeah.
flower.
Oh, yeah, it's like
well,
DMT,
We're gonna
that's
make
like-
you
Oh my god.
inhale it.
Hey, quick thing. One person at a time.
We're gonna make you inhale it.
Okay.
So yeah, they crumple up the little blue flower in the crumpler, and then and then he inhales it, and that's where he's like, breathe. That starts kind of
tripping.
hallucinating
He's
a little
wigging
bit.
out.
Just a little bit.
Tripping balls.
I wouldn't say tripping balls.
He sees a bunch of bats in a box. feel like
I
that's
thought those
some-
were actually in there.
No.
Oh, I
You
didn't.
think they just
How would
crammed
they
a bunch of
know?
bats?
How would they?
I thought. I mean,
Dude, are
'cause
you
I thought-
fucking serious?
I thought he would have had to. This
You open the box and it shows you what you're scared of.
okay,
They don't
this
just
is-
jam
here's-
bats
they were
in
like,
there.
Yeah,
but-
we know
Oh, this will
Bruce
really
Wayne.
get him.
Hey,
Okay,
do you remember
so-
when Bruce
so
Wayne was
it
like, my
is-
biggest fear, guys, is bats.
okay, so
Don't
this makes
do it.
so much more sense now. Okay, I thought there would have been some weird again. I was assuming.
No, he
things.
just saw this because he was tripping.
Okay,
he's
this
tripping
makes more sense.
balls.
This makes more sense.
It
Okay,
does.
anyway.
So it's
passes
just-
the ninja
just
test.
Whatever's in the box is just whatever someone's afraid of.
Yeah, it's
So
like that
if
episode of
someone's
Regular
afraid
Show.
of like a clown, there'd just be a bunch of
Yeah,
clowns.
big old
going,
clown. Okay. Okay.
So
I
he
don't know, I'm just stuck
passes
on that now.
all the ninja tests except for one. Murder.
Yeah, he has to execute a murder, and he will not do that.
because
But he will execute a bunch of ninjas in the
He will,
explosions.
and then
cause.
also
It's
probably
true.
that murder. He probably also.
yeah, we
Well,
don't see him
exploded.
escape.
well, this is the thing. This is where they finally.
That's a good
Because
point.
up to this
He
point,
kind of
Bruce
also
didn't,
just died.
Bruce didn't really know what the whole plan was. They reveal, oh, we're gonna
Well,
destroy
Gotham.
Gotham.
I
and
don't
he's-
know if
and
I
then
should
they
do the
actually
voice.
reveal-
No, don't do the voice.
Yeah, you should.
that's dicey.
So they reveal that Gotham is the target. They kind of reveal more of the history of that too, actually, and then basically that Gotham's just gonna be wiped off the face of the planet.
Yeah, it's where we kind of learn the purpose.
You almost.
It's just so quotable, man.
Where he
It's on-
goes,
It's on the cusp. Let's
where he
not
goes,
ride that line.
where
I know.
Razz Al Ghoul goes. Gotham
Like it's-
is a breeding ground for injustice.
This
No,
And
here
it
we go.
must
If
be
we-
allowed
if
to
we
die.
encounter a situation like this, let's just go with a southern accent like we usually do. Gotham must be allowed to die.
It's a breeding ground
It's a
for
breeding-
injustice.
Can one topic going? It's Gotham must be allowed to die. Can't get that's pretty good. I'm surprised we've never done that before. Anyways,
Impressive.
so what does he do? What does he do? He chooses not
So
to
he
kill.
chooses to
Yeah.
blow everyone.
He flings a hot branding
Yeah.
iron into
Yeah.
a bunch of gunpowder.
Clark's like, what are you
What are
doing?
you
He's like,
doing?
what is necessary, my
Yeah.
friend?
You see the ninjas are exploding, flying over balconies.
So this is. But
Wait,
this,
I just want to say one thing. I just want to say one thing.
Yeah.
From like two cards perspective, you're like, this guy's fucking nuts. Or it's like, hey, just execute this one murder, and then he's like flips the thing into a bunch of gunpowder, and all your friends are getting blown up. You're like, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, what is necessary? Like if I was him, I'd be like,
He
this
turns
guy's
your words around on you
well,
as
this is where we get Bruce's like the moment where he makes the choice. I think to do
to blow up
well
a bunch
again
of
what
ninjas.
what he perceives as the right thing.
To explode a bunch of
'cause-
ninjas.
Well, no, I like what you were saying about like
Exploding
if
a bunch
if
of
Rachel
ninjas.
hadn't talked to him, maybe
Yeah.
he would have probably
Well, no,
gone through.
this
with the
is
whole
what I
League
was
of
getting
Shadows thing.
into. I think Bruce would have joined fully into the League of
Yep.
Shadows at this
Oh,
point.
that was
if
for
Rachel
sure
didn't talk
his,
with him.
Absolutely.
his attitude
Because
when he was
Rachel
there for
kind
the
of
trial.
shows him, and along with his time being petty criminals, like we talked about earlier, this gives him some perspective.
But that was like the pivot point.
Yeah.
They're not
yeah.
all bad people, you know.
yeah, that everybody has a chance to change. Possibly, like this is not justice. These people need to be tried.
Rehabilitation instead of punishment, unless you're a bunch of ninjas and you get blown
And you get exploded.
Well, they are assassins, so he's all like, "I'm going to assassinate them
With the-
before they can
what?
assassinate
No,
everyone
that-
else."
It's kind of like it's kind of like a quit before you get fired situation.
Yeah, that murderer definitely exploded.
Oh, he's
though.
dead.
He's okay, but
like they don't see him get. He doesn't get out. as
He's
far as
like
we
in
know.
handcuffs.
Just like
okay,
he just-
okay, wow. Let's move on.
He's just going there. Hey, get me out of here!
This isn't better.
I like how Bruce
And
decides
Batman's just like,
no. Bruce decides
I
to
won't
save
kill you,
Razz, or
but
I mean,
I'll have
yeah.
to save
No,
you.
he decides to save Ducard instead of the guy who he decided not to murder.
Yeah, okay.
It's
Okay,
it's
it's
minor
fine.
stuff.
Don't worry
so he
about it.
saves Ducard. I don't like when he falls off the cliff and he grabs onto his arm. I don't know how his entire torso didn't just rip in half.
He's got strength.
Because Liam
man.
Neeson's like 6'4",
Yeah,
like
he's a
probably
tall
over
dude.
200 pounds, and he just like
it probably hurt, and oh boy, did he scream really loud.
All right, Christian, guys.
so
Don't
he
scream
takes him
into the
to
microphone.
the mountain doctor.
I'll tell him. You
I'll
saved
tell
his
him
life.
you saved his life.
Okay, this is.
I'll tell him you did him a good one.
What?
I don't know, if,
He just also wanted to say something.
but different, you know.
But not different enough to the point of where you should have said it.
Fair enough. Michael got shut
Fair
down
enough.
real good
451.
there. All right,
Okay.
let's continue. Continue.
So anyway, yeah, basically he gets down the mountain. He meets back up with Alfred,
Yeah.
who's like, kind of fills him in.
Wayne.
He's been
Welcome
declared
home,
dead.
Master Wayne.
Jeez, please, not for everyone.
He's got to have the
I
southern
can't
accent.
take this.
We can do British accents. That's fine.
British accents
I
are
like-
fully on the table.
No. The whole I like Southern Alfred.
Southern Alfred pisses me off.
What's the point of all these push-ups if you can't even lift a bloody log?
Can't even lift it.
I don't know. It's gonna get boring after a while.
Okay.
Just like all Southern
I mean, you can
things.
feel free to be my guest. You know.
Okay.
Anyway, so he meets back up with Alfred. Basically, just kind of fills him in. He's like, "Yeah, you're dead officially."
Shoots him.
Yeah.
I'm taking over Wayne Manor.
"You're dead."
And then he buys all the shares, and now he owns Wayne Enterprises.
I think that
Michael Caine is back.
it's all a bit technical.
He drives around in the Rolls Royce beating up criminals.
Okay.
I'm
I
sorry,
would
this
watch that
This is
movie.
going too far now. Oh my gosh.
So then, anyway, he he comes back, and this is kind of where he's like, all right, I'm gonna be Batman for realsies. I'm gonna use my hecka wealth to be Batman.
Use my privilege to beat
Yeah,
up.
that was
crime.
actually a big part of the book. Okay, so I read a book about how to become Batman, like if it's
Uberman
possible.
sleep schedule.
Pretty much, it's just like you would need a lot of money, and you'll probably die trying to train for this.
Literally, yes.
It was a very discouraging book.
Yeah, but Christian Bale can
I
do
would
it.
hope so.
Considering what Christian Bale has put his body through, I'm sure he could be a real life Batman.
I don't know.
Oh,
maybe.
anybody could.
I'm just kidding, but
Mm,
if someone was to do it,
basically,
it
the
would
book
be-
was like also steroids.
Give yourself any advantage you can.
I feel like I saw a video about that, or maybe it
Okay.
was just a video.
Wow.
There's,
Back.
Reel that one.
Let's rewind.
So
Okay, yeah.
he comes home, and his kind of first steps to becoming the Batman is to get the gear. Goes to see Lucius Fox.
And
Lucius Fox is kind of another part of the theme of like a good person can like help kind of influence like a bigger thing of corruption, because where it kind of establishes Wayne Enterprises like we sell weapons to the military now. Like we're fucking shitty.
And the board is a bunch of jabronis.
A
too.
bunch of jabronis, a gaggle of
Didn't
jabronis.
he used to be on the board, right? And they were
He
saying
was on the
once
board
his
until
father
he
died. Then
yeah.
they kind of kept him down. They sent him
And
down.
I think at this point we find out they want to take the pump. Oh my gosh!
They
They
wanna
want to
take
take the company public.
I said the public.
Yeah, I
company.
know.
They want to take the company public.
There we go.
They want to pump the company into the public.
You're fucking.
So he gets the gear.
So he gets the gear, and this is where kind of Lucius Fox is kind of just like, okay, don't think I'm fucking dumb. I know you're not. Just like
He's going along with. He's just kind
like,
of giving it to him.
I'm gonna help you,
Yeah.
but no,
But don't treat
I,
me
I'm
like
not
an
falling
idiot.
for this, please.
Yeah.
I just don't want to lie.
Well, yeah, because he tells him at first it's like his first spelunking, going down into the caves.
It's for base jumping,
It's
for
base
spelunking.
jumping.
Well,
That's right. That's
the-
right.
Yeah.
Yes,
No,
what do you wanna use
It's
it for?
spelunking before.
Okay.
And then
Okay, it doesn't matter.
I just
So
wanna
he
be
gives
right.
him, he gives him the suit, the utility belt, the flaccid fabric that if you shock it gets
Erect.
Electric current, much like
an
What?
electric current.
What?
Say it. Say it.
good. I'm good.
Say it.
I was just
Say
gonna make
it!
stupid or action. Just don't worry about it. Just let's go.
All right. Gives him the tumbler. Finally, it's kind of like the climax of him like receiving all the cool shit scene.
Oh, you wouldn't be interested in the tumbler.
Oh, you wouldn't be interested in that.
Yeah, no, we get also he finally figures out
Where he's
the
like, "So, you
symbol
like,"
he
he
wants
goes-
to use for the for his
For his man.
visual- yeah, for his yeah.
For his
It's like,
wanna
is
do
he-
something
like, wait,
man.
I wonder what
Man.
because I was like, what were he,
Man.
what was he spitballing before? Like, what was
I would like
he's
to
just
see
gonna
the
go around
notes.
in the yeah, exactly. So no, he sees the bat like up in the
And he's like,
the ceiling.
oh yeah, that's terrifying.
Yeah, and then he goes
He
down
goes,
into
"Ah!
the caves. And
Oh!
that's where we have the
Christian!
Cool, that's where we have the cool
Guys.
like he's surrounded by
You can't
bats.
scream into the mic.
No, that's where we get this cool scene where he's surrounded by bats, and then
Yeah.
finally he becomes
Batman.
Batman. Yeah. Great score. Great score.
So now it's kind of his like first night out, right?
Yeah.
Where he's like he's going to talk to Gordon in specific, right?
Yes, this is the first thing he does. With
Yeah.
his ski
He's
mask,
like-
he doesn't even have his real
Yeah,
mask
he's
yet.
like, damn,
Takes a
this
stapler, pretends
this
it's a
police
gun.
system is corrupt.
He goes to Gordon and puts a stapler against the back of his neck.
Yeah.
Pretends it's a gun.
Gordon thinks it's a gun.
That is the point. This kind of also plays in theme of like that one person. Is Gordon's like, you're just one guy. It goes, well, now we're two.
Yeah. So Gordon,
exactly.
let's talk about Gordon for a little bit because we get
Great
introduced to him
mustache.
a little bit. Well, I mean, way before too. He was the one who comforted Bruce when his parents died.
Yeah.
But also
Yes,
in
so
the
he
scene
kinda
where,
knows this
where
is a
he's
good
where he's
guy.
with the dirty cop Flass.
The greasiest man.
Who's
in
dude,
He is
yeah.
extremely greasy.
He's super greasy, man.
It is raining, and you can just see the drops falling off him faster than other surfaces.
So, but this is where we kind of figure out he's like a good cop who
Flass?
one of the
No,
few.
it means
I know,
Gordon.
I know.
And Flass is just kind of making fun of him for it. Then we get to that scene
Yeah.
where the stapler.
But here's the thing: Gordon isn't a rat. Either.
No, he's not. No.
I not know rat. He's not
but
no
we get
Joe
that,
Chill.
he's like, in this town, who's there to rat to anyway? And then we get the greasy laugh going.
Oh my god! You really went for that.
It's a greasy laugh. It's the best way to describe
That's a
it.
greasy one. Yeah.
It
Okay.
is, so.
Oh, they don't
Anyways.
like falafel. Anyway.
Yeah, Bruce is behind him with a mask on. He says, now we're two dudes. They're
Yeah.
gonna help. We're gonna.
He's behind him with the mask.
There's like no
two dudes.
I
Whoa.
can see how that.
That's insane. That's an insane thing to say.
And then he jumps out the window.
Yeah.
He jumps off the roof.
So he's a little worse at disappearing into nothing at this
I
point
love
in his
that.
career.
That's the thing in most superhero movies that bothers me the most is they're like pros at it, like from the bat. I like from the bat.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, where he like falls and like he's like in a ton of pain because he doesn't know how to like
Yeah, we get
escape
another
from shit. Yeah.
type deal from Christian Bale. 'Cause
You're
he's
banned
the
from sound effects and like things of that sort.
Well, you don't make the rules, so.
You got me there.
Although
I don't
you
make
could
the
just
rules.
bleep it out. Finally, bleep me. I dare you. Anyways, yeah. Gordon's all like, "That was just some nut." What do we get to after that?
Some nut. Yeah.
I think Gordon kind of trusts him a little bit at this point because he doesn't.
Yeah.
He
it
doesn't really
was-
give the cops a whole bunch of information.
No, he's at least curious.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what happens after this is like he wakes up and he's talking to Alfred.
Chicken Alfredo.
Jeez. So yeah, he's talking to him. He does a bunch of bloody push-ups. And he's like,
He's covered in bruises.
Yeah,
He's
he's covered
drinking
in
some
bruises.
weird green.
It looks
thing.
gross.
Yeah,
It looks nasty.
probably a bunch of vegetables, but
Yeah.
anyways, it doesn't matter. Yeah, he's doing push-ups.
and pretty much he just has to talk to him about like, if you're gonna do this, you need to like do things Bruce Wayne would do as well.
Questions
Yeah.
come up with how this person spends their time.
Yep.
You should take up polo.
So we kind of get like.
I'm not learning polo.
Let's talk about
Sick polo,
'cause
dig.
this is about,
fuck
this is
you,
where we get all
Polo.
the. He starts getting all the information that he needs together. So what? Because Gordon tells him he needs leverage on Judge Fate and the guy who the judge that Falcone pays off to kind of get him out on the streets again.
When
wait,
I'm out
I
on
also,
the
you
streets.
know, I also yeah, so he's got to do that, and he's what else does he have to get? He tells him something else.
The Tesseract.
Shut the fuck
He needs
up.
a DA, someone who's willing to actually testify, and that's where he mentioned Rachel
Like,
Dawes.
oh, I know someone.
yeah, he does. So
I know a
So
guy.
that's
Not a guy,
important.
though.
I know a Rachel does.
Should we talk about Crane right now? Because we did kind of glance right over him.
He
This is about. I mean, we get him a little earlier, I think.
Well,
but
there's just a little tidbit of him and the cameo from
Zaz.
Victor Zaz. That was pretty dope.
Yeah, he's. I mean, as far as the theme of fear, he's vital.
He's
really.
Yeah, he is. Fear.
I mean, you know what would be funny?
What would
Is
be
if
funny?
Cillian Murphy was the host of Fear Factor as Dr. Crane.
Or if Scarecrow is played by Joe Rogan.
That'd be the easier option.
Welcome. I'm Dr. Crane, and welcome to the Scarecrow experience.
Yeah. Okay.
You don't like that?
So
I'll do better.
Yeah. I think then quick little scene between Flass and Falcone. It shows Rachel's kind of in danger at this point because they want to get rid of her because she's
she's
digging around.
mouthing off.
Yeah.
Kind of causing trouble for them.
Mm-hmm. And then I think Batman can finally begin.
Yeah, so he goes.
Yeah.
he gets the information that they're gonna be like at the docks doing whatever,
Doing some drug deal.
dealing some drugs. Fights the dudes.
Fights a bunch of dudes.
Fights a gaggle of dudes. And
We find out there's teddy bears and there's rabbits. They're going to different
Yes.
places.
Yeah, I was
There's
mentioning that.
different
One's
stuff.
going straight to the dealers. The other one's going to the man in the narrows.
yeah, and so
Correct.
this is where he says, "I'm Batman."
He's just like that.
What are you?
I'm
Batman.
What do you think? So right, Cillian Murphy auditioned for the role of Batman.
Yeah,
That would have been interesting.
There
Yeah, I
is-
was gonna say. I was
Murphy.
gonna.
I
Ask
think
about
there's
that,
some
actually.
test. I think there's
Forgot to
some
mention
test
that.
footage of it.
There is.
I think he would have
actually,
been
He
good.
looks
It would have been
a little
interesting.
weird in the cowl.
It would have been interesting if Christian Bale was Scarecrow too. I feel like they fit.
I feel like
those-
they could do either
Cillian Murphy
role.
would have been
They're
a
both
good
really
Batman,
dynamic
but
actors.
yeah, but
Yeah.
he was probably better for the role of Scarecrow.
I like him a lot as Scarecrow.
he was
I like
fa-
Cillian
he's-
Murphy.
He was
He's real good.
fantastic.
Yeah.
He's just that just dead.
creepy.
Very creepy. That just the dead eyes he gives people just monotone. He's very creepy. Very
Yeah.
Very good.
Scary.
Underutilized in this movie, I think.
And in all the other, well, especially in this movie, by you get to the end and they're
I would've
like,
liked more
"Fuck, we
Scarecrow."
forgot about
We
this
don't even-
villain."
we-
Tase him in the face.
We'll get there.
Yeah,
Should he
didn't think about
fight
that, but
the
yeah,
hero-
We'll
no.
get there because I feel like you're right. I feel like they could have done something a little better with him. At least they bring him back in the other.
Okay.
movies, so
But here's the thing with Rachel. She's getting followed from the subway.
Yes,
I
and
think that's the next important
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
oh yeah, because then he gives her the photos for the
Yeah.
leverage
Yeah, yeah.
stuff.
Batman scares off all the crooks about to murder Rachel.
Mhm.
Yes, and yes, it's kind of just more of him like kind of like expanding his network almost. Where now he's got Gordon,
He's
That
got
is-
Rachel
and now
on
he
the
has
DA.
Rachel.
Well, that's the cool thing about
You know, all these people together, even though they're in this huge corrupt system, they can overcome it with just a couple people.
that's the thing.
Yeah.
It'll send a chain reaction because I think there's a lot of good people. They're just too afraid to stand up
Yes,
to
as
it.
long
And I think
as
that goes
the
into
good
fear
people
thing.
stay scared.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. True. Okay.
And that's kind of how it, I guess, comes to a head with the fear theme as well.
Well, yeah, it's like Batman basically reverses that whole scenario. He makes
Mm-hmm.
the people using fear. Which it was interesting. I never actually thought about this. That's actually really interesting. You know, as Dad talked about the bats and how they're actually really terrified of Bruce. It's almost like that was the reversal of the crime underworld, or all the criminals in Gotham. They were using fear.
They're actually scared.
They were the
of-
ones who everyone was afraid of, but then Bruce comes along, and then all of a sudden it's just like they're actually terrified of him.
They pretty much
instead.
exactly say that.
Where he literally says, "I want to use fear for those who prey
Yeah.
on the."
Well, no,
fearful."
I'm saying I just thought it was an interesting parallel between his dad saying that, and then
Yeah.
and
Okay.
then
But
and then let me finish, and then never mind. Just whatever. Just whatever.
my
Just
gosh.
fine. Just keep going.
oh my gosh. Okay. Bruce gives Rachel the pictures,
Yes.
incriminating. I think is it a judge?
it's Judge Faden.
Yeah. He's at the Falcone bar.
Because it's just like one of those things of like, if the judge is shown to be a corrupt person, then they're like what they have said over the past however long is now kind of void.
Yep.
And he was the one being like, "Yeah, this guy's good to be out on the streets again. Send him to Arkham, whatever." So it's
Yeah.
like it's a biggie. So
Yeah.
now Rachel is like a big problem for kind of this whole
Exactly.
operation as well.
Then we get the scene where the evaporation machine is introduced. Oh my god! The dude like stammers around it for a full minute so they can show
Just
like,
a montage.
so they can-
That's
they-
right.
They can
Well,
intercut
sir,
the
they
scenes.
someone seems to have
Well,
stolen
just the fucking
seem to
pauses.
turned it on,
They oh man.
and it
Where
it's
it
been
like it
stolen. Yeah.
where like it can kind of when they intersplice it with the montage of the thing, but then I remember we were saying like, what must just this bear conversation sound like?
Yeah, and
Someone
then
should splice that together.
no,
Yeah.
of just
Yeah,
the
I'm
conversation.
saying
no
just a
intercut
conversation.
to the
That'd be good.
I
scenes
want
of
to see
it getting
that
stolen.
cut.
Then I think it's the hotel scene.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What? You have a
I-
joke.
Well, it's the same joke that's going to be made about 20 times in the next 5 minutes, so that won't be an issue. I'm buying this hotel.
Okay, yeah. He does do that. He brings some goyles with him.
Some models.
He's got to keep up the front.
They're European.
Okay.
Yeah, so this
He's
is
gotta
kind
keep
of
up the front.
well, like what this whole thing is for what he's trying to do. He's like, all right, I need to be a douchebag, so no one
Yeah.
would be like Bruce Wayne is Batman,
Yeah.
the guy who's
everyone at the table's talking about Batman. He's just kind of like
anyone
he
that
just-
I think
dresses
he's a
up like a
nut,
bat
Anyone who
clearly
dresses
has
up as-
issues.
Yeah, yes. So just as to basically have
Yeah.
the other side of the life, so no one suspects him
Yeah.
whatsoever.
Exactly.
So he buys
Gets in the,
the
pool.
hotel,
Yeah.
No.
Oh no! First they get in the pool.
They get in the
buys
pool.
the hotel. Then he also gets.
and then
Yeah.
while he's like just playing out this persona, Rachel sees him, and he's like, "Oh fuck."
This is important too because he almost blows his cover, kind of. He has to tell Rachel, this
Yeah.
isn't me.
Which
you know
kind of
me.
shows how much he cares
Yeah,
about
well,
what
he
she
does.
does.
He's supposed to be putting up this front, but with Rachel, he's
willing to
almost
risk it
blows
all.
We get that. Yeah, that
He's
that
like,
comes
"Wait,
back later
shit,
too.
I'm
at the
not
birth-
actually this.
Yeah,
No,
I know this looks bad.
That comes back at the
Underneath,
birthday,
I
the birthday
am-
party scene as well. 'cause
I am more.
You see,
Yeah.
he genuinely does care about also his father's legacy and all that stuff. But he
I
kind of
think
has.
legacy has a lot to do with this movie
Yeah,
too.
absolutely. But he kind of has to portray this kind of
Playboy billionaire.
type, spends all this money.
Yeah.
Childlike
Well,
businessman.
We see the Wayne legacy goes back to like hundreds of years because
Yeah.
Well, they built.
They talk
I
about-
mentioned the Underground Railroad.
yeah, and that's
yeah.
not the only train-based good thing that the Wayne family has done.
What is it with them and trains, man?
They
The
really
Underground
like
Railroad
trains.
isn't actually a train thing, but it's
It's
has
in
a
the
railroad.
name, yeah.
It's in the name. Yeah,
It's train based.
It's train
Train-
adjacent.
train themed.
Stop.
Are you telling? Never mind.
What
Never
were
mind.
you gonna say?
Mm-mm.
What?
Just keep going.
Oh no.
Just keep going.
All right. Yeah. So, kind of just shows how much he like really cares. Yeah, it's what she thinks of him, and comes the line of like, it's not who you are underneath, but what you do that defines you.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he's like, fuck, you're right. And I don't even know what happens after this.
It's Falcone. Let's see. How does he get got?
Falcone?
He's arrested
He
at this
was
point.
at the
We forgot to
scene.
mention that
He was-
Batman gets him, turns him into the first bat signal.
yeah,
That
it's
is
pretty
a cool
dope.
scene.
Yeah.
He's because he's at the scene of the drugs and all that stuff.
But of
so
course,
he's
because
in
the corruption's so deep, he gets over
the whole thing
Dr.
with
Jonathan
Crane.
Crane's-
Yeah, well, the whole thing is Crane's also corrupt and is in with the whole
to
thing.
what? Jonathan Crane, completely normal psychiatrist.
Renowned 5-star.
What did he
rating.
do? Let's see, because he had been taking a lot of Falcone's criminals into Arkham, declaring them
Yeah.
clinically insane,
So
even
they
though
could just
clearly
not go
weren't.
to like
Exactly,
prison.
Yeah.
Exactly, kind of giving them more leniency.
Mm-hmm.
So what? Falcone's in the cell.
Yeah,
Or
he
he's
tries-
in Arkham, right?
Yeah, he's actually in Arkham. He's like, oh, the walls are closing
cut
in,
my
Doc.
wrist.
And then
Yeah,
he starts
he's
to
like-
threaten Crane
Yeah.
actually about how he knows a lot and wants to kind of blow the whole thing
Yeah.
before it happens.
And then he gets scarecrowed.
yeah, so that's where Scarecrow puts.
wanna
on
see my
the
mask?
Scarecrow. Yeah.
Do you want to see my mask?
What?
I use it in all my experiments. Yeah, and then he actually is crazy.
Yeah.
He's got some weird mist that he shoots at people,
Well-
and then they go crazy. It freaks him out.
He's not faking. Yeah. it's-
Yeah, not this one. So yeah, Falcone's in there for good
the
now.
only suspicious one about this is Rachel.
Yeah, Rachel doesn't buy this at all.
We also I forget because Falcone and Crane had been talking earlier in the movie too. They mentioned
Well, they're teaming up.
They
they're teaming
mentioned
up, but they
Razz Al
mentioned
Ghoul.
someone else.
The guy he's working for. He's like, I know I don't
Ducard.
intimidate you.
Which
but
we reveal
obviously-
later. It's Ducard, League of Shadows, but Falcone.
That's his
doesn't-
full name
Falcone
is
doesn't
Ducard,
know
League
that.
of
He's
Shadows.
just basically
No.
being told the bare minimum.
Yeah.
But he started figuring stuff out. That's why Crane then
Yeah, he tries to
dosed him with
threaten him.
stuff
Yeah,
because he realized
we've
he
been
was
over that.
actually
It's fine.
Yeah. All right, where are we at now?
I think we can just go to Rachel getting sus about it, right?
Yeah, that's not much. We don't need to go into that too much.
Yeah,
though.
it's, yeah.
This is kind of where we learn
She
more
wants to look
of
at
his
Falcone.
plan. Yeah.
Personally, she wants to get their own psychiatrist to get a
Yep.
second opinion or whatever.
And so he takes her. She gets on the
Downstairs.
elevator. He like.
She
he
asks,
takes her down to the
"What's
basement.
Scarecrow?" She's never heard of the word
What's
Scarecrow.
Scarecrow?
I can see why, but
And then she
Takes her-
gets scarecrowed after she sees
Well, after
all the
yeah.
people dumping the
because that's
stuff in
where
the
they
water
make
supply.
the medicine.
This giant open pipe
This
underneath
is where
the
I
asylum.
love how it's just a cracked open pipe.
See, I think
It's
this is-
goofy, yeah. It's like a Batman comic.
because it's like done in a way where it's not like goofy.
It's not like George Clooney
I
Batman.
was
Yeah,
gonna
but
say
yeah.
it's not that.
It's still like
realistic.
What the fuck? With heavy air quotes?
It's plausible. You feel like it's
I wouldn't go
possible.
that far.
I mean, okay, the
Buster
water
says it's
evaporates. There's a
plausible.
whole thing where that
Okay,
thing
yeah.
would. That,
But I think
We're not talking about
but
that,
it-
but
this
just the
is why
giant
it's
gaping
easier
hole
for
in the
it's easier
pipe.
for
one at
like
a time.
it's easier for like I think an older audience to take that in. I guess.
Take it seriously.
Yeah, exactly. It's a more serious. It still has a serious tone.
Yeah, I think this is why this is my favorite one because it's not afraid to
This is
go back
also
to
my
its comic
favorite
book
one.
roots.
Hot take: Batman Begins better than The Dark Knight.
You're right. I think the Dark
I
Man.
think so too.
I mean,
What did he say?
what did I say?
Said The Dark Man.
That's a Sam Raimi movie.
We have to watch that. We can do a
Yeah,
do
Dark
an
Man.
episode on that. Yeah, Liam Neeson's also in that. I think. I think the Dark Knight is the first one where they kind of just abandon
No, The Dark
any
Knight's the
sort of
second one.
comic book tropes, and then they go straight to the gritty
Self-serious,
self-serious.
very,
What if this
like,
was in real life?
Two-Face is kind of silly, but they play it off pretty serious.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's
that
intentional or
is
not.
pretty. He would have died. There's no way
Yeah,
anyone
okay.
would survive that.
We'll
that's
talk about that
obvious
later.
enough, though.
We'll
but-
talk about that
okay,
later.
So yeah, she gets dosed with the Scarecrow stuff,
She
freaking
gets
out,
Scarecrowed,
and then
if you will.
Batman's there. And I think he
Well-
only knew
well, I
because
guess we did
Rachel
skip
told him he was
over-
going to Arkham.
Yeah,
or
because
she
all we
kinda
skipped
overheard
over
him.
was fuck, never mind. We have to go back to this for
Oh,
one
what?
reason.
What is it?
What?
It's
when,
fine. It's fine.
When Batman gets Scarecrow gassed.
Is that before
oh
this?
yeah,
Yes.
that is. This
Yes,
is-
Oh,
because-
you're right. He has the antidote.
He has the
at this point.
antidote
Yeah,
by
yeah,
now.
you're
Because
right.
this
You're
is where he's
completely right.
basically he's investigating those drugs, the teddy
Yeah, and we
bears
find
all
out the
that stuff.
rabbits have the fear toxin. in
Yeah,
them.
Crane and two other goons show up at the scene.
While
They wanna
Batman's
torch everything
snooping.
while he's snooping. Batman attacks one. Crane surprises him with his stuff, and then he starts freaking out.
Get Scarecrow.
Starts seeing bats come out of
Gets lit on
Yeah,
fire. And then
Well,
Alfred picks
question,
him
Michael.
up.
Yeah.
Did you think bats were actually coming?
I was hoping you would ask that. Yes.
So Alfred picks him up, and this is why I needed to go back to this.
Watch the scene with subtitles. It's nuts.
And Batman's in the back, and Alfred's just like looking behind him, very concerned. And Batman is just in the back going, blood poison, blood poison.
Yeah, just in the backseat of the Rolls Royce. Gets him. That's where
He
okay,
gets
so
him
he
back
wakes
home.
up. Turns out
Lucius
he's out
has
for 2
the
days.
antidote,
He was out for 2 days,
Yeah.
right? Lucius cooked him up an antidote, and he was fine.
All good.
But then he's no, he didn't start doing push-ups. After
No.
that. We just said that'd be funny though. Oh, back to push-ups. Okay,
Bat to push-ups.
and then that's where I think we can
Yeah,
jump.
we're
into
And
that
we're
at that
back.
point. Yeah. So Rachel gets dosed. Batman saves
comes
her,
in.
gives Crane a dosage of his own dose.
Yeah.
the dose of his own dose.
Scarecrow gets
Let me try-
scarecrowed.
That's what I was trying to say. Then he reveals. That's where Batman's like really. I mean, that's where he mentions Razz Al Ghoul, and then Batman's like, Razz Al Ghoul is dead. Who are you actually working for? Then Crane's like, he's just kind of left.
If you would like to
he's
make an
on the loony
appointment,
wagon
whatever.
now. Yeah, he's gone.
Crane's
So-
not here right now.
If you'd like
So
to
he's
make-
now the whole thing is he's trying to get Rachel
Not
out
to
to safety
die.
because he knows that no
She took
one
a
else.
concentrated dose, man.
concentrated-
So she's
dose.
gonna die quickly. No one else.
This
can
is
help
where
her
he
except
first
for him
gets
'cause
help.
He's the
from
only one that has the
Gordon
antidote.
directly.
Yeah, that's true actually.
where he helps him escape
Yep.
from the police. So this is kind of where Gordon's first like, okay, this police thing, I don't know, might not be all
He has
good. I'm
that
gonna help
cool
this bat
bat
guy.
thing in his shoe.
Yes,
I don't know
that
why it's in
calls
his
all the
shoe,
bats.
but it was in there, and yeah, it just escapes in style.
Which is
with
actually a
all
really
bats.
cool thing 'cause it's from one of the comics that this is based on. Is like a scene for scene.
Which one
thing
is
of
this
that.
one based on? Out of
Year
curiosity?
one.
Is
and
it
the
year
Yeah,
one?
Long
it was,
Okay, I
it was a
wondering
really
if it
cool
was
year
year
one
one.
reference.
They did a
Because you got the Sonic bat attractor.
they did a
in his
movie
boot.
adaptation of like a cartoon. DC
Yeah, they did
animated
an
films.
animated version,
So
yeah.
I liked that, but I'm
The
sure
book's
there's
really
some more.
good. It's
Yeah,
I should read some more of the graphic.
I would
novels of
recommend it.
those and
They're
the comics.
fucking good.
many of them are good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he gets Rachel. There's the huge jumping
He's
on
jumping off the
rooftop
roofs.
scene.
Yeah,
The car
the
scene.
Batmobile debut. It's the first time we
The
see it in action.
Batmobile
I brought
begins.
mine. Yeah, it's a big old tank. What did you say?
So, the Batmobile begins.
So yeah, so he gets Rachel to the Batcave.
He does a cool little fly
gives her
thing.
the injection, and then gives her another sedation.
I'm gonna
she
give you a
falls asleep.
sedative.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why that was necessary. Just so she didn't see where. Like
I don't know. They're in a cave.
I guess. Yeah, I was about to say like
There's not a lot of
I
windows in
feel
the
like,
Batmobile.
I feel like she wouldn't. I don't know. Maybe she thought Rachel's gonna snoop around. I can't risk having her see who I am or something. Who knows? Alfred takes her
TKOs
home.
her.
And we get this birthday scene where
Yeah, he comes back
it's,
up.
it's Bruce's
Well,
birthday that day.
Alfred kind of
tells
gives
him
him the
he's getting-
speech of
yeah.
like, you're getting lost in this
Yeah, exactly.
monster of yours, and it's becoming like a self-gratification thing.
Yep.
You have to look at the reasons why you're doing this. You got to go entertain your guests now, though.
As Bruce Wayne, yeah.
Yeah, it's not
They're your
just
father's guest.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't do a
Now
British accent.
We get the whole
Fortis.
we get the whole legacy thing. With
Yeah,
his
this comes
father.
back to
This is-
legacy.
yeah.
Yeah,
So he goes to the party for like a second,
man.
finds out Lucius got fired, so he needs to like get back to the lab, make this antidote because they put it in all of the water.
not a lot we can.
And
do
then he's
now.
like, well, that's where he mentions the mic. He's like,
Well, that wouldn't matter unless you
Not-
had a
not-
microwave
it's like,
emitter that
no, that's something that
Okay,
has
wait.
to be ingested by the lungs. Unless you had a microwave emitter powerful enough to vaporize all of it.
I love that.
I love the dialogue. It's very
Kind of like the
comic
one that
booky.
Wayne Impress is just misplaced.
It's very
and
comic.
then
it all
that's where he
together.
reveals that he got fired because
Yeah.
he was asking too many
Well,
questions.
here's the
It's
scene
like-
I think we missed too. Just a quick little one.
Go for
Is
it.
Rachel's boss is snooping around too in one of the
Oh, he
crates,
fucking
and he gets
dies.
murdered.
Because there was the one
But,
with the,
We
Uh,
forgot about him, just like
microwave
Rachel
emitter.
seemed to forget about him real quick.
Yeah,
they
but,
weren't like
hold on.
wait, I don't think they were dating.
They were. They literally
I don't
were.
think so.
They
I never
fucking
got
kiss.
that. She kissed him on the cheek. She said that's sweet. And then that
No,
was it.
they.
I think you're thinking of Harvey Dent,
Yeah,
Christian.
no, I don't.
He's the
think they-
DA in the second movie.
She's got a type.
I was going to say she
DAs.
does have a type, but I don't think they were dating. She always refers to him as
Okay.
her boss.
That's not
Yeah.
why I brought it
They
up.
were
Sorry.
DA.
This
Sorry.
is not.
Yeah, it really,
ING.
yeah.
I just wanted to say one thing and turn into a whole tangent about something that doesn't matter.
It really doesn't.
But he goes into the crate and he tells him, "No, that's not how we do things anymore. Like
Yeah,
I'm going to
we're
take a look at
actually
this."
doing justice.
So
now.
I think that shows back to the theme of just one good person in a corrupt system can inflict real change.
Like a domino
Yeah,
effect of that. Yeah.
Exactly. Now he's not necessarily super afraid of the family
Judge
anymore.
Faden's out.
Yeah.
Falcone's actually in bars too, so he's
In
no.
bars?
It gives.
He's a good man.
it's-
put this
well, I
guy
guess
in
he's-
bars.
Okay. He was a good man. Now he has the will to act.
Yes.
Yeah,
Exactly.
okay,
because
cool.
of the decisions of a few good people
Yes.
in
He's
bad
an-
systems of power.
And the
Correct.
fear, and he's not afraid anymore.
Yeah.
Basically.
I just
no,
thought that was a reinforcement of the theme, and I
Absolutely.
thought
Fair.
we should
I
bring
agree.
that up.
I
Sure.
agree.
Good job. So
You get a solid gold point for that.
Man, we're doing.
no
No,
point systems.
no.
I'm not going to keep track of that.
I don't
Except for
want
the
it.
joke. There's going to be the 10
Nope.
level 10 joke.
Incorrect.
Anyway, so he's
We'll see.
at the party, talks to Lucius, and then this random fucking lady is like, Bruce. This was like another very
Absolutely must
clunky
meet to see,
dialogue,
yeah.
but also very comic book.
Tell me, am I saying this right? It would have been funny if she said race.
Race.
Al
I
Ghoul,
wish
like it
she
was-
did. That would have
just-
been so
would've
Just
good.
implications of the
I know.
original
It was
pronunciation.
like they
That would've been
actually knew
good.
it.
Oh.
A little bit of self-awareness goes a
But-
long way.
Yeah, so they reveal. What were you going
A
to say?
little bit of
You
opera
look like you had
goes a long
something
way.
to say.
Oh, I just wanted to say, how good of a conversationalist is Ducard? Because she's like, Bruce, you gotta meet this dude.
Yeah, talking to this random lady, and then she's just like, "Oh my god, you got to talk to this guy, Bruce Wayne." And so he sees that this is not Ken Watanabe.
I wonder
It's
if
like schlubby Russian. It's my favorite thing.
so. Yeah, then Henry Ducard comes up behind him, and he's the new Razz Al Ghoul.
I think this is kind of
It's
their
weird.
take on the
This is an
immortality
interesting
thing.
because it's they never really fully address it. They kind of mention it
bring it
back,
up.
like in the Dark
There's
Knight
a
Rises.
line.
They bring it back there, but like yeah. So he's not actually Razz Al Ghoul.
It's a
but
figurehead.
he
It's
is-
like
yeah.
it's like a Dread Pirate Roberts.
He
type
mentioned
of thing.
Exactly.
maybe it's the immortality, or is it just the parlor tricks to conceal an identity? Doesn't really say much after that, but I think it's
I think it's their clever way of making immortality
exactly.
real
there's,
world
There's
thing.
always a Razz Al Ghoul.
Yes, exactly.
And which goes to that's the mirroring of the comics, I guess, where he had the
He has the
Lazarus
Lazarus
pit,
pit,
but
where
this
he
this
can
is a little bit again,
have
this-
literal
This
immortality.
is a little bit more of the real life take on that, which I like. I think it was.
Oh,
I think
it's
it was
it's
done well.
it's the
It's
best
subtle.
way they could have done
No,
it.
it's subtle and it's very. I think it's very good. So, Ducard.
So he's like, hey, this shit's about
We're
to pop
back.
off, and he's
Back.
like,
Ninja
hey,
attack on Gotham, baby.
Ninja.
Ninjas are
yeah.
attacking the city.
It's like, but then that's where he
Ninjas.
reveals
It's like a
this
Ninja
is
Turtles
actually the second time we've done this, and we're not going to
first we
fail
tried
this time.
a different weapon.
Economics.
Then your stupid dad got in the way.
Stupid daddy. So he's
good
like,
people,
it's about to go down. Bruce is like, a lot of people here are good. Don't do this. And he's like, I don't give a fuck, Bruce. You can explain it to your guests.
He at least lets the guests leave the house,
And
but
when she
he's
gives
like,
his
they're not
great
going to
speech,
live long anyways.
all you phonies.
That's where we get that's
all
again where we
you
get,
okay.
he kinda has to
two-faced
put,
friends.
Well, he kind of has to put that
the persona back
persona-
on
exactly
of
that.
And be a
The
real
drunk
dick.
Bruce Wayne.
exactly. So
And this is where the legacy thing kind of comes back, where you can see he's kind of emotionally hurt again when one of the people that's on the board is like, the apple has fallen far
Yeah.
from the
Yeah.
tree.
yeah.
Another stinging word.
Yeah, he's like, fuck.
Ow. I want to be like my daddy. That's what Bruce Wayne says.
What, you
So
wanna get-
anyway.
you wanna get shot in an alley?
Yeah, but he has the bat suit on, so he's fine.
That's true.
Yeah, for anything but a straight shot.
Okay, so they
His
torch the
true
house.
friends stay behind.
That's right. I forgot about that.
That's my favorite joke I made during it.
I don't have the luxury of friends.
Well, just
God,
there's just
a couple friends, Bruce.
once
you know.
everybody leaves,
It's
there's
supposed
just
to be a
the-
threatening shot
the
of
big
all
scary
the
ninja dudes are there.
The
It's
start,
like, those are his true friends.
He gives them the signal to torch the place,
kick
and
his
start lighting
ass.
on fire, and then
log falls on him.
yeah, like
he
Razz Al
didn't
Ghoul,
mind
he's
his
in the whole
surroundings.
thing
He
with minding
never learned
surroundings.
to mind his
Oh, man,
surroundings.
I wonder if he'll learn. I wonder if there's like a callback later.
I hope so.
Man,
It's-
there needs to be resolution to
It's
this.
Chekhov's surroundings.
Okay.
You should always be minding.
Kind of, though. Yeah.
It is the chair.
Fucking
I know.
sneezing again.
Just
Oh, it's mine.
Oh, okay.
no, I think it's mine.
I-
It's definitely mine. Maybe it's both. Anyways,
No, it's
don't
yours.
touch it.
Okay.
Don't you touch
Okay,
it.
so anyway, long story short, they're burning the place. Log falls on Batman. It's looking rough.
Yeah.
They all leave. Alfred comes
Who?
up and is like, Bruce Wayne, do you even fucking lift, bro?
Yeah, pretty much.
What's
Bloody
the point of all those
push-ups.
push-ups?
Bloody
You can't
log.
lift a
Bloody
Log.
I thought you were gonna do it in the southern accent.
What's the point of all daggone push-ups?
if you can't even lift a bloody log.
Spits right there. It's got the tobacco.
Alfred is a fat water chew in every scene.
All right, so gets him up, and then they successfully escape the flames, get into the bat cellar, the little cave.
like,
Bat cell.
Well, they
What are you
don't
talking
really they
about?
don't call it anything in the movies. They never literally call it anything. I mean, it's the bat cave, but like they don't call it anything. They just say
Quick
it's-
to
You
the
know
bat
what it
cellar.
is.
I know.
Alfred plays, I think, the most beautiful piece I've ever heard on piano
I
to
don't know.
open the door.
I really like. I think the piano piece you composed is the most beautiful piece ever.
It is.
We'll have to
Anyway,
play that for them on the. Maybe that
yeah,
should be our
that'll be the
song.
theme.
Anyway,
Cole's a great composer.
This is where the legacy kind of comes back in as he's like looking up at the flames.
Yeah.
He's like, everything my father built,
Yeah, that mansion's
I
been in the family
physically
forever.
and metaphorically destroyed.
Burn
I
to
was
the
being
ground.
a big old doofus up there.
And then comes the line of like, why do we fall, Master Wayne? And then
So we can pick ourselves back up.
it's like, you still haven't given up
Ooh,
on me.
we didn't actually mention
Never.
yeah. So no, we didn't actually mention that because that's kind of. I feel like that's a subtle theme in there.
Picking
is
yourself back up after
picking
failure.
yourself back up. That's how his father really had a lot of influence in Bruce, and then Alfred reinforces that. But
Where,
no,
where
I
else
think
do you see that reinforced, out of curiosity? What, the why do we fall?
at the
I think
top
it's
of my
over the
head,
series more so.
It's
Yeah.
that is the thing.
I guess that's a good point.
I think
Um,
it's more of a series theme.
I
the way I
couldn't-
see it, because Rachel kind of does that too, where she's just kind of like constantly bugged down by the crime and all this
The
stuff.
mob,
the
you know,
mob, but
corrupt
she constantly
politicians.
picks herself back up. So it's kind of it's not necessarily so much as that as maybe like trudging through.
I think it's
the
kind of just
pain
like,
and,
yeah,
being-
I like that. That's
kind of
good.
the things you're not
Just a
fighting.
something, nothing.
You're not fighting a guy. You're fighting injustice, evil, and that's never gonna, it's never gonna
Yeah,
stop or relent. So you have to kind of have that as well. if
that
you
does
really
come
wanna-
back in the other movies too. So
Yeah,
Everyone wants to
It's like
fight
every time I
crime
talk
till
now,
it's
I just
time to
hear this
do
squeaking.
crime fighting shit. That's what Alfred told me.
so
when does Alfred clock that dude in the back of the head with a golf club?
Oh, that was
Like,
right,
right
before.
Oh, right,
before,
yeah,
yeah.
I hope you're not the fire brigade.
Alfred, I don't think he is. He's just standing there looking at the flames. That dude,
He's
seriously,
just making a quip. Just
It's
making
a
a little
fucking
joke.
quip. You got a problem with quips?
no.
All right. Anyway, So yeah, he fucking suits up.
Yeah,
Batman's
Batman's
out
up.
of there.
I was getting
Yeah, he
whiplash right there. Jeez.
Bad.
I know. I was wondering whether to say that or not.
You shouldn't have.
I did. Well,
There's
I
your
did.
answer.
I did.
All right. So
Keep going.
okay. Whew. All right. So
We're almost there.
So goes out there, goes to the Narrows, right? And he's kind of too late before stuff starts popping off with Scarecrow gas.
Scarecrow gas time.
Yeah, they got what
The whole town gets Scarecrow.
Well, it's
That's
with the
where we get the
Narrows
when
first,
he
yeah.
was talking with Bruce. That's where they get the whole like we have infiltrated every structure of this society or whatever.
Your
Wait,
society is
that's
so
that.
Why I'm
corrupt.
saying why
We've
I'm saying
infiltrated
this, why,
its
I know,
infrastructure
why
on
I'm saying it
every
is because
level.
the way how they get the microwave and whatever that thing is that
It evaporates
blows
water
things.
is the important
It was
part.
designed to evaporate
Microwave
enemies'
emitter.
water supply.
the thing that they turned on.
It-
They get it
me.
across in like a SWAT team, so they're like they're right. It was like a SWAT
Yeah,
vehicle
they're in
or
a
something
SWAT
like
car or
that because
something like that.
they're getting basically what happens is they unleash Arkham. What is it? The prison or is it asylum?
It's
All
the
this- I think
asylum,
it was, it was
yeah.
both of them or something. Where all the
Criminals
are getting
running
out.
on the streets.
So they get all of the mob police. Right. That's another thing with these.
So they send all the police to the island part, and if
Gotham
there's
PD
some,
loves sending every cop they have.
They like being extreme.
everyone.
Here's the thing about the Gotham PD. They like being extremely corrupt, but they love sending every police officer to one location.
So that's everyone's on the island though. They get the microwave across there too, right before they pull the bridge up or whatever.
Yeah.
So they're and then what we get, they turn it on, right?
So Rachel gets.
Oh, that's right. She goes,
the-
"Hey, why did you? What are you doing?" Right?
Yeah, that's what she says.
It's basically.
Some cop just stiff arms Prince Joffrey
And
in
then
the
she
face.
Yeah,
really
Prince Joffrey
doesn't
gets
like that. She
stiff-armed.
goes, "Hey," and then
Okay.
he points at her really weird. Did you guys notice?
Yeah.
I didn't notice
They
that.
just, yeah, it was really weird.
It's a very threatening point.
Razz Al Ghoul comes out, and he's like, "Time to spread the word," and the word is panic. So then they turn it on, and everyone starts freaking out.
It
Panicking, if you will.
It got turned off.
So Rachel has an antidote, right? Because right as he sent her,
Yes.
right when he saves her,
She tells him to get it.
she's got
to
two.
Gordon.
She's got two of them, right?
One
she gives
for
one to
herself,
Gordon.
You
That's
gotta
right.
give
for
one to
mass
Gordon.
production.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Gordon has to get it to Fox, I think.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Gordon.
Right?
I think
Gordon
so. Or maybe Fox. No, I
is-
think Fox was
No,
already.
Fox made
'cause
it.
He made
Fox
it, so he
made it,
doesn't
of
need
course.
yeah. He's like, what if he was all like,
Oh, no, that's what
I
it
need
was.
a copy.
That's
I don't
what it was.
remember how I made this thing. Someone get me that.
Because
that
he just gives the one to Rachel when they're in the
Uh-huh.
Batcave. So he's like, one is for Gordon to give to himself, the other is for mass production.
Yes.
So that's what it is.
Okay.
So that's why Gordon also isn't freaking out.
That's
and
right. Yeah.
so he's kind of on the phone on the horn with Commissioner Loeb, and they're like, "We raised all the bridges. Shit looks bad in there. You're on your own, kid." And Gordon's like, "What? So I'm all by myself?" And then the Batmobile.
Okay.
And so now it's time to fight ninjas.
Ninja fight in Gotham.
People are
Ninja
freaking
City
out.
attack.
Yeah.
This is where Batman saves Rachel and Prince Joffrey.
Yes.
Is that his name, Prince
No,
Joffrey?
well, it is.
That's the
yeah.
name of the
Right,
movie.
so because there's the crooks are about to stab him. Batman
Don't wig out, because that's what makes them shoot at you.
Oh man.
saves Rachel and the kid.
Goes off to fight a bunch of
This is where
ninjas.
he's about to hop up to him, and then Rachel's like, "Wait, tell
could
me your
die.
name, blah, blah,
Tell
blah."
me your name.
But this is where he reveals,
I'm Bruce Wayne. Baby.
it's not who you are underneath, but what you do that you find you figure out it's Bruce. Does a cool jump off
The coolest
roof.
jump.
And then we get a cool shot of everyone else's perspective underneath
Seeing him just
seems
being
like a
like-
freaking just like a weird harpy demon creature or something like that.
It looks really cool.
It's really cool.
Everyone's
It's really
just
cool.
everyone's tripping balls.
tripping bollocks.
Crazy.
And
So-
so this is where Scarecrow kind of exits because they're like, "What do we?
Oh,
I
yeah.
hate. What do we do
Oh
with
my
this
gosh.
guy?" So he comes out on a fucking horse.
Sick.
Which is what?
Well, he probably
Saying-
stole it from one of the
saying
riots.
we have nothing to fear but fear itself.
And then the horse proceeds to breathe actual fire.
Yeah.
They did not hallucinate that.
He just found a horse that could do that
And then he just gets tased in the face
and goes away forever.
Runs
Until
off.
the next movie.
This is a really weird, another crazy scream.
I mean,
that's the end of him. That's literally all we see. So then Batman confronts Razz Al Ghul. They're about to get on the train that his father
They're about to
built.
get it on.
In the
And
train.
that's the whole thing. Is like with the train, they've got the microwave emitter on the train. They're
Because
trying to
under
get it to
Wayne Tower is like the water supply.
Right, the big one
So that's
where if
kind of
they get
like
there,
the
then it-
ticking clock is the train moving towards like the water. Because right now they just did it for the water supply in the Narrows, which is like just kind of a subset of the city.
Yeah.
So if they get to Wayne Tower, it's like, oh no, irreversible tripping balls for everyone.
For everyone.
And so they're fighting on a train. He's fighting hella ninjas.
Yeah.
This is, I mean, like, I'm trying to think of other stuff before we kind of just wrap it up.
No,
Gives
really, I mean,
Gordon, gives
Gordon's
Gordon
in
the Batmobile.
yeah,
Gordon
Going,
shoots.
oh.
He can drive stick.
I mean, Gordon's trying to shoot the rails down so the train
And the
doesn't
one
reach the
guy
tower.
in the entire Narrows that's not freaking out. Just
I
like,
love this
nice
dude.
ride.
Yeah, that's right. Nice ride. Yeah.
He's not even that scared when it shoots a cannon.
No, he's just kind of like
oh,
surprised
all right, I'm
a
out of
little
here.
bit, but yeah. So
Gordon shoots the bridge, goes,
fight
yes!
scene. Fight scene. Bruce is taken down and then just finally fights Razz Al Ghul.
On the train.
What is it?
Gordon shoots the thing, so
Basically,
now the railroad is
basically
out.
just Raz basically has the edge on him, and then Bruce is like, whoever.
You never learned to mind your surroundings.
Well, who said anything about stopping the train? Then we realize, oh, it's gonna crash, and then.
And then Razz Al Ghul is like, we're going to fucking die. And Bruce Wayne's like,
And then
"Yeah, actually,
Bruce is like-
you're going to fucking
Then
die.
Bruce is like, I'm crashing this train with no
Crashing-
survivors.
Bruce, what are you doing?
Oh my
Crashing this
gosh.
train. Actually, that's so tangent.
ahead.
So they initially recorded that for just because kind of the IMAX trailer was just that opening scene
Yeah.
with the plane. The original audio for Bane is so bad
You-
and mixed badly that they made him redo every line. So we can't understand shit. That's the only one that stayed in there from that is that one line where he goes, crashing this plane, which is why it kind of sounds a little bit
Yeah.
different than how he sounds for the rest of the movie.
That whole sound design of his voice was just weird in general. Anyways, we'll talk about that when we get to that one.
So anyway,
that-
Bruce is like crashing this train and so,
with no survivors.
yeah, so he's like, I don't have
That's
to
a bad
kill
thing.
you,
But I don't have to save you.
but I don't
either.
have to say, which is like
Ra-
another thing of like,
But like
Bruce.
Ra-
Okay, I
that's
think
iffy.
he just based on his track record, I think he thinks if he just blows the person up,
He's
he
not
didn't kill
killing.
them.
I mean, yeah.
They're exploded.
didn't do it.
I didn't kill them.
The explosion.
The whole thing is like,
I don't know.
that's like the only.
I will
questionable
defend
moment.
this. No, because he doesn't do anything to make the train crash. He just
Well, I mean,
he just
told
dips.
Gordon to basically explode the train. He told him
Gordon
to shoot
exploded it, not
yeah,
him.
But
His hands are
told
clean.
Him to do it.
No,
It's Batman's
just
car.
like Falcone. Falcone doesn't kill anybody. He gets his guys to do it for him. So Falcone
okay.
doesn't kill people.
I see. So Falcone's a good guy.
Yeah, he's
Okay,
clean.
okay.
He's a good guy. But yeah, so Razz Al Ghul definitely dead.
Yeah. Oh,
There's
yeah,
a
for
crash
sure.
for like 30 seconds straight.
And then it explodes. The
And
microwave
then it explodes.
Yeah.
Razz Al Ghul is exploded.
And then you blow up.
He lives up to his full potential, which is being
Blowing up.
exploded.
It's interesting. Right before he like lets him die, he gives him the last little, have you finally learned to do what is necessary or whatever. I find that interesting because it's like, again, it's Bruce's only questionable moment where he
Blows up
I
all the
feel like
ninjas?
I don't know. It's like he does. He kills him.
No.
Yeah.
He doesn't do anything
mean-
to directly affect him being killed.
The way I look at it though is either Bruce looked at it like he has to die, or I mean he kind of caused his own death because he
lets
was
him
on the train.
fall on the sword.
Oh my! If it
kind of
isn't the
thing.
consequences of my own actions.
That's
Yeah.
the thing. That's the thing. So I could see how Bruce is not really responsible for that. It's Razz's own fault. It's
He is much more responsible for the first Ninja Hut explosion.
Oh, yeah,
in the
for
beginning.
Yes,
Oh,
that-
He's directly responsible
Absolutely.
for those men.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh my gosh, I don't know how.
Okay, we already talked
I
at
was like-
length about that.
Anyways,
Okay.
movie happy ending. Rachel, Bruce kiss.
Yeah, where she's like, "Hey, I thought you were a major douchebag, but you're actually Batman, so I'm kind of back in on this." And then he's like, "Well, this is the first entry of a superhero movie in the 2000s, so I have to say not yet."
No, she tells
Well, no,
him
she's
no.
the one. I
She
was about to
tells
say
him no.
she backs off
I
because
thought you knew this.
because his mask.
I was
No,
thinking about,
because
I was thinking about Spider-Man 1.
You are.
yeah.
You're literally mixing those scenes up.
I love your passion, Christian.
Thanks.
I just wish you were right.
So no, she's the one who backs up because she doesn't want to have to deal
She doesn't
with.
want to date Batman.
But she
She-
did
but
want
it's
to
a lot of
smooch him.
drama.
She did
She
want
said
to
something about
smooch him.
the boy she used to know is actually gone because he's got this.
His real face is Batman.
His real basically, and that's not the person who he can be in real life.
So
And
she's basically like,
she
if
doesn't
there's
wanna-
ever a day where Gotham doesn't need
She'll
Batman,
wait for him. Yeah.
hit me up.
Yep.
And then
He talks to Alfred, who's like, we got to reconstruct the house. I suggest some reinforcement over the whatever wing. Basically, we're going to build a sicker Batcave.
Indeed.
yeah, they don't really deliver on that later.
They don't ever.
Yeah, the one of the third one's pretty much exactly the same. It's got a
Maybe
cool
even
thing that comes
worse.
out of the water.
It's got bricks that he gets to kick.
Yeah.
Show how strong his knee is.
True. That's true.
Anyway, goes to Gordon, sees the bat
Final
signal.
dramatic
He's like,
scene. Knock knock.
nice. And so, teaser for the Joker.
No.
What? What do you mean, no?
No. Okay. Remember,
No.
he shows him. It's like this big dramatic reveal. It's like he's got a flair for the theatric, like yourself. He left a calling card. He flips the card over. It's the Ace of Clubs.
Oh yeah. Or it just says the Riddler on it.
It's just written Calendar Man.
Yeah. That's a real villain.
yeah.
So is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
He left a calling card. The calling card is just
Calendar
Man.
Man.
So, yeah.
Wants to get rid of daylight savings. Can't let him do that.
That's a villain I'd support, just to get rid
That's
of
a
daylight
hero.
savings. That's a hero. Yeah.
That's the hero both we deserve and that we need right now.
So, yeah. Never said thank you, and you'll
You
never
don't
have to.
Yeah.
Flies off the building. Fucking sick.
Yeah, that score, man. James Newton Howard and Hans Zimmer.
Work together.
Yeah.
Did you know that they actually had a fight to the death after this movie to see who got to retain being the composer for the next two?
Well, they both were for Dark Knight still.
Idiot.
So they tied. But then Hans
That's
got
what
him
I'm
in
getting
the
at.
Hans
He got him in the
second
last
one.
round.
Yeah, it's really cool though.
Yeah, he
How
was
they
playing the
how they
long
did
game.
split stuff up because from what I understand, basically Hans did the Batman and James Newton Howard
Did the
He did all the Bruce Wayne stuff.
in the
The
child stuff. Which
flashbacks.
you hear the classic
It's
James
such a
Newton Howard
distinct Howard
piano. Anytime he's got his soundtracks with the piano in the background, he's very distinct.
The strings.
use of
I can pick his
Aeolian.
melodies out of most things. Like
Yeah,
you,
yeah,
you hear
natural-
it, it's like that's
it's
a
that
that's
he
a
uses a
Newton
lot of
Howard
natural
melody.
minor stuff.
Yeah.
Really beautiful. It's like I mean, you can. There's a lot of similarities between Batman Begins and Unbreakable, which is also a great soundtrack. King Kong.
Skull Island.
Hans Zimmer does. No. I haven't even seen that movie.
Okay,
Heard it was great.
it's a big gorilla.
Okay.
Big old boy.
Fucking anyway.
Anyway, good soundtrack, good movie, good job, boys.
That's
Yeah.
The Dark Knight Begins.
Well, closing thoughts, I guess. Yeah.
Well, we're getting Michael. We already did that.
Oh, I got to do it for the closing. Remember?
We're not done yet.
I know. That was a joke. 'Cause I did it too soon.
You intentionally did it too soon as a joke, and
I
then
did.
said that was the joke. The joke is I did it too soon.
That is the joke.
In case you didn't get it.
Okay.
You guys clearly didn't get it.
Oh my.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's
I think this movie has really cool themes, fear among them, and then,
Anger, guilt,
Anger, guilt.
justice.
truth, the American way.
Fuck. You. I said I wouldn't have any more outbursts of anger, but you're
I'm pushing it.
you're pushing it.
Yeah. But I think it says a lot about people choosing to act and
The will
just
to act.
one good person, even in a really
Right.
corrupt
Well,
power structure, can affect real change.
yes. It's about
If they choose
the
to do
good
the right
people
thing.
Okay, you're-
acting. Yeah.
Yes, that's what I said. You have to act on it.
The
Yeah.
will to act.
to
but-
choose.
It's not
To
who
do
you
the
are
right
underneath,
thing.
but
You're
what
killing me,
do
man.
That defines
You are killing me.
Slams the table
Yeah.
for good measure.
Oh,
Don't-
do you want me to do it again?
I do not.
Yeah,
If you
no.
hit that table, you're gonna hear two sounds: me hitting you twice.
To all of our listeners, I hope you got something out of Batman Begins you didn't get before.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just gonna
I
wrap
hope-
it up.
Yeah,
I
let's
hope,
wrap it up.
I hope
so bad.
Batman was beginning again
Oh
for
my
you.
god! All right, wrapping it up. Follow us on Instagram.
more pizzazz.
Fuck you. Ugh.
People aren't gonna want to go. Let's
You say
follow us
that.
on
You say
Insta-
it.
All
Say
right.
it then. Say it.
Hey guys, follow us on the Instagram. Follow us on
What's the Instagram?
YouTube.
What's the Instagram?
It's theme dash underscore. Excuse me. It's an underscore. Theme.
You are peeking
underscore.
the mic. Michael.
Theme underscore and underscore variation underscore podcast.
We're also on
We're also on
Spotify
Spotify now, so check that out.
And
You
YouTube.
couldn't even let me say that. You had to jump in as I
Well,
was
I
saying
wanted
that.
to say it really bad, like more than you.
So yeah, check us out on all those platforms if you understood any of that. And
If just in case they didn't, do you want to say it again?
not really.
Well,
Fucking, this has been.
3 people screaming over each other. Okay.
Oh, you peeked it.